It's a new time, a new place. But these guys have done this before.
I had no idea we were going to draft Blaine Gabbert. Did your jaw just drop?
Yeah, it did. Did you sense the silence?
I doubt Gene Smith was on Twitter.
I don't know. You never know, man. Gene Smith might have a couple burner accounts out there.
Look at these media guys. These are the weakest people on earth.
Why do I think he's talking to me and not 6'6", 245 Austen Lane
Brent, are you listening right now?
It's Austen Lane.
You're taking away my comfort food in the most uncomfortable year of all time.
It's Brent Martineau.
We call it a Minshew Monday here on Action Sports Shacks. But those are more crapshoot picks, man. I mean, you can get Telvin Smith and you can get, oh, yeah.
From Jacksonville to wherever you stream, watch, and listen. Welcome to the Brent and Austen Show.
Here we go, and welcome into a National Signing Day 2024. Miss Pac-Man has been played, by the way, starting to amp up a little bit in the building. We have people sneaking into the room to use the Miss Pac-Man machine, and I did play each of the last 2 days.
Okay. I was struggling on it, by the way.
Were you?
I took my first go-around, and needless to say, it's been a long time. There is some rust.
You know, I actually have a little rust myself. I played a ton when I first got the machine, like addicted.
Yeah.
Every moment possible. Like almost didn't get to work on time and other things on time because I was in the middle of a game. But I haven't really played in like a year and a half. We used to have it in the living room, like right in the living room. Watching TV, play Miss Pac-Man. I chose play Miss Pac-Man. But then we put it in like this back room, and then you just don't go in there. So I didn't really use it for the last year and a half or so, so that's part of the reason I brought it in. But I do have the high score on there just to let everybody know. Flex. 105,000 points on there. I know it's not like this world record, but you can laugh at it. You can try to beat it. My guess is you can't. Talk all the game you want, and you won't beat my 105,000 anytime soon.
Well, I had 7,000 points yesterday, so it's a good starting point, and it's something to try to attain in the future, I guess. What was the inspiration behind Pac-Man? Was that kind of like the game as a kid that you played so much?
I remember going to there was a place we would, like the community pool area or whatever like this as a kid, and they had there's like an indoor area where there's a restaurant in there too.
Well, first of all, it's Rhode Island, so there's nothing big in Rhode Island.
That is true.
Yeah, okay. There's some kind of center.
I was going to say it's like a big thing. Like you could go. It was a big piece of property.
Gotcha.
All right. Mm-hmm. It was near like this whole setup. Man. It was like there's a restaurant on one side, like a lake. You like when you were a kid, you go feed the ducks and stuff like that. No, seriously, like that's what you did. But you remember those exercise things? They still have them sometimes in parks. In fact, I think they do a lot where you do like the 17 step thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It's like your own weight kind of using the momentum and everything.
That's right. Yeah,
they
you
still
have a
those
bar,
all
you do your pull-ups, right? You use the bench to do the whatever, the sitting.
There were some rows, the rows and everything. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was pretty good right there, right?
I mean, it's all right, man.
Hurts.
Yeah.
Oh, man, the triceps. Holy cow, I'm so out of shape. But anyway, it was one of those, they had like a sports bar inside it. But you could go to lunch or something like that, grab a bite to eat, back when a sandwich was like $4.
Sure.
And they had a Miss Pac-Man machine cocktail version. Sit down.
Oh, right. Okay, I got you.
And so you put the quarter in.
Yeah.
But the thing about that machine is it would take a nickel at the time. You could trick the machine with a nickel.
I mean, back then, was it black and white or was it still in color?
No, man,
I mean, just a nickel. I never grew up with a nickel, man. It was always a quarter for me.
I know, but it was supposed to take the quarter.
Yeah.
Because they were all quarter machines.
Of course.
Like 1 quarter, not like 3 quarters or 4 quarters now. But they would get away. It would take the nickel. Like it couldn't figure it out or something. I don't know. You could cheat the system.
Yeah.
And so we just played it all the time. All the time. And that's what I kind of grew up playing. I wasn't a huge video game guy, but I mean, I did some, but not huge video game like today's kids or whatever else. And a lot of kids, even when I was growing up, I mean, played more video games than I did. But I did like Miss Pac-Man. And so I've just always had an affinity for it. And I saw this thing was at Walmart. Take that wide shot again if you can. Show off Miss Pac-Man a little bit, Hamby. But This thing it's like a Walmart thing. I actually, you know what my most proud thing about this?
What's that?
Is I put the damn thing together.
It didn't come as
No.
It didn't come.
No, I had to build it.
Excuse me?
Oh yeah, I had to build it.
Hey, Bob Vilo, how long did that take?
It wasn't too bad. It's really like paint by numbers.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty.
I'm not gonna lie, man. It looks super complicated to put together.
Nah, it really wasn't too bad. But
Okay.
I did put it together, and I've already got a bunch of use out of it. Now I think the building's going to get some use out of it.
Yeah.
And I think what we need to do is have like a weekly scoreboard, like Hamby and some Marcel and Stewart. You guys just trying to chase me.
Yeah.
Because like I'm going to beat you.
Yeah.
So like you got to chase the rabbit here.
Okay. I mean, we can definitely try, man. I feel like 100,000. You had 100,000, you said?
105,000.
105. Let's be more specific. Yeah. 105,000. There's no way that's going to ever be attained.
Oh, there was some swearing going on in the house for a long time around trying to get that thing. So it's intense. But anyway, that's the story behind Miss Pac-Man. Really cool addition to our room. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Hey, what are we,
How many cameras do we have in here?
How are you doing this?
Can we just film?
Where is that camera coming from?
Brent, let's go ahead and get out of the sports radio game and get into this, like the movie game.
I'm trying to figure out what he's. Oh, this is a
trying to
bump
make
shot.
That's a bump
That's
shot.
a bump shot.
Oh.
Marcel Robinson took the bump shot yesterday, and there it is.
Okay.
Hey, this is good stuff, Hamby, Casey. You guys getting it done in
We need
there.
to start making a movie or something, Brent, and go on Netflix. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, this is what we do here. This is
got you.
high-quality stuff.
Yeah.
The
What
Brent
did you say the
Austen
record
show.
was?
105,000.
Not too bad.
Hamby, have you played that game yet?
I have not hopped on.
Okay, well then get back to me when you actually played it and
Yeah.
talk to me about
You know,
105,000.
Because this is the thing like where Ty and Kaylee think they're great at everything, right?
That's kind of how I feel about
You're
it.
right.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, bring it on.
Yeah.
Do you know how many levels that was?
Forget what I got. I mean, it's been a while now, but I mean, it's a lot of screens.
Yeah.
It's a lot of screens. I forget, like, that goes back. Like, you get through all the fruit, and then you go through the fruit again, as I remember it.
I'm
So-
just going to be honest. Like, I can't believe you can get like a golden tea or something. I feel like you're more like a golden tea kind of guy.
No, you know, I'm not. I was at Strings the other day because they
Yeah.
have a golden tea. That's where we do Jaguars All
Yeah.
Access.
It's fun.
And, like, Dave Wax in our building, who does a lot of this stuff, who helps make this place look like it does in our shows.
Yeah.
He's a golden tea guy. Like, he's over there when he goes and sets up for that show.
Mm-hmm.
I played golden tea, but I'm not, like, addicted to golden tea.
Interesting.
A lot of people are, though.
Yeah, I mean,
We could get
if I
golden
see
tea.
golden tea.
Are
okay.
you're a golden tea guy?
I mean, I like golden tea.
You
Who
asked
doesn't like
Hamby
golden
this
tea?
the other day.
Yeah.
You said if there was one video game that you could bring into your house, like I think you asked Steve Sesnick this.
Correct. Yes.
What would it be?
Or in the studio as well, because you know.
Yeah, right here. Like if
Yeah.
you could go get one game, like I got Miss Pac-Man. And by the way, it has a couple other games, but I have no interest in playing the other ones.
Yeah.
What would you get?
I mean, to try to keep the football theme going on the show, I would definitely get NFL Blitz. You ever played NFL Blitz?
I don't know.
Brent, you can't have arcade games and never have played
I mean,
NFL
maybe I
Blitz
did.
before.
Like what year are we talking
I think you would
about?
have remembered it.
Nah, I mean, there's a lot of NFL games.
Not NFL Blitz,
Like when-
though, man.
when
You're
Sesnick-
punching players, you're body slamming players. Like, this was like a revolutionary game.
No, I don't remember.
Oh, there you go.
NBA Slam, I remember when
NBA
that
Slam,
brought up.
NBA Jam, yeah.
NBA Jam, sorry.
Yep. No, you're good.
NBA Jam.
NBA Jam.
NBA Jam.
Yeah.
But I remember what Sesnick was talking. Like he was quoting stuff, and I was like, okay, I remember that.
So I remember we talked to Sesnick. Sesnick wanted NBA Jam in here, which I'm not going to be upset about whatsoever. But I'm on Team NFL Blitz just because, like, once again, you're body slamming players. You can choke slam them. It was pretty cool.
So that's the one you're going with.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You? I mean, besides Pac-Man.
I really don't have like
Probably something
somebody
like
else. You know, somebody brought up Donkey
Pong
Kong
or something.
That
Oh,
was
Donkey
fun.
Kong. Yeah.
Donkey Kong was
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
I'm not like a Tetris. Like Tetris is cool.
Brent, if you
don't-
got a Tetris machine in here, I'm walking out, man.
Oh, that's not cool.
I can play that on my phone.
I know. Well, that's the
You
thing,
know?
right? There's a bunch of
I
those.
don't need
kind
to
of games.
stand up and, you don't need to spend $1,000 on that thing. Like, get something different.
So, is this just like a stand-up arcade game we're talking about, or is this the same as like if you could bring a game to PlayStation, would you still get that? Like, is that a different animal?
See, to me, like what made NFL Blitz and NBA Jam so great was like the stand-up arcade version of those games because there's some nostalgia built in there, but it's just something about standing up next to another person and once again you're choke slamming up a player. It's just it's a special feeling, Brent.
How do we feel about Street Fighter?
Oh, I mean, yeah, you can go Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. All those are classics, but like for me, man, NFL Blitz was the game for me.
What do you play now?
Call of Duty.
You do? Like Call of Duty's king, right?
So I mean, before I left the show, it was a lot of Call of Duty I was talking about all the time on the show. Do you know what we actually transferred to now? You'd appreciate this. PGA Tour 2023. And we found that
This is an upset.
Well, it's a little more of a calming, relaxing game, or so you would think. But we were just at TPC Boston a couple nights ago, and I had the door open to the house, and I might have dropped some expletives, and the neighbors might have got a little worried of what was going on in my house because I got super ticked off at hole number. I think it was 13 at TPC Boston. Ever play TPC Boston? The wind is not forgiving.
Really?
Oh, it's horrible.
Casey would know this, but TPC Boston, didn't they light TPC Boston up? I thought that's where somebody shot like a 59 or something. Like really on the PGA Tour.
I mean, it could have been live conditions because it was chilly and it was windy. So it might have been like the current TPC Boston as it is right now.
You know the show's doing well, by the way. If we someday get a golf simulator in here.
Let's go.
Right?
Call up Josh Scobie right now. Get him on the horn.
Then we're doing okay.
If
that happens.
Yeah.
Or it's one heck of a trade deal. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
All right. We do have it out there, though. We'll put that out nice and early. Give us your favorite arcade game. If you could get one in the house. I did have a buddy. Did you have anybody that you'd go over their house and be like, whoa? And there was a kid when I don't know if it was elementary school or something, but this was the guy. I think his dad owned a construction company. We weren't super close.
Okay.
He might have been a little bit older, but you ended up in their house from time to time, and that big pool in the backyard. Yeah. Right? But they had full-blown game room.
Okay.
Like skee ball and the big machines, like the pinball machines, which were big at the time, right? And it was like, whoa, these guys must have a ton of money.
Yeah.
Like that kind of deal. That would be pretty cool to have. But you ever end up seeing people have their pinball machines? Pinball machines were expensive. That's a lot of real estate it takes up in the house.
I don't remember a pinball machine, but I distinctly remember in high school there was a girl in town who she was well off to do, you'd say, and big screen TV, pool table.
Theater seating.
The works. Yeah, essentially that. And we had to be friends with her. She had a giant pool in the back too, so
we had to be friends with her.
So we were friends with her, man. Yeah, we were, we were friends with her. And we took full advantage. What can I say?
That's awesome. Hey, Casey just said 59 for Scotty Scheffler at TPC Boston.
Okay, was this recently or was this last year?
Maybe you guys should do better.
I guess
at that
so,
game.
man. I guess so.
Brent Martineau Austen Lane, Jason Hamby, and we mentioned Casey Kurtz from time to time. He's helping us transition to the new show and doing a fantastic job as well. So we appreciate him and his knowledge, and maybe we get him on in the coming weeks and check back in with the old gang. We hope to be able to do that. Congratulations to all the kids out there. National Signing Day. That's why you see the old Daytona State for Kaylee Brooke, and I got to throw the flagler on for Ty later on.
There you go.
Today we sign on the dotted line. Well, they already really signed on the dotted line.
So can you take us back real quick, Brent? Wasn't there some kind of contract signing that you made your kids sign where they could get a college education?
I did, yeah. I actually have the picture. Maybe we'll show that a little bit later in the show. But yes, in 2013, it was this kind of day where we would go. We don't cover it like we used to. We used to do a half-hour show. But now they have multiple signing days. Mm-hmm. And now with this new stream on the way, maybe we'll be back to that half-hour show or then some. But we used to go to 12 stops in a day. Start at 8 in the morning. So I'd drop the kids off in 2013 at school. And on our way, I had an English muffin with peanut butter on it, by the way. That used to be my meal of choice and breakfast at the time. And so we made a contract on the paper plate, and they signed it in the back seat. And it said, I will get a scholarship to college.
Sure, I got you.
And, here we are, 11 years later.
Wow, man.
So they fulfilled their part of the bargain.
Obviously, proud dad moment.
Yeah,
One of the best moments, too.
I will say this. We'll talk about this. This process is never ending. It's they made their commitment. They signed actually back in November because that's when you sign. And today's one more celebration. It's all right, enough. How many times do we need to celebrate this?
Yeah.
I mean, let's just go to college.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that. It's good for them. It's cool for them and all the kids and everybody else. It really is a neat day. But in the process, I feel like we've already done this 3 times. But today's the official day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I feel you, man. I mean, as a kid right now, I'm a kid myself, but who has a child who's 8 years old who's already committed to Oregon, I guess. That's going to be his plan. Which by the way, looked up the flights to Oregon. not giving those away, so going to need a pretty good NIL deal to go to watch my son, I guess, play football is what he wants to do.
Well, you got a good chance.
But shout out to the Oregon Ducks for their
if you
marketing.
just let him start that YouTube channel.
I guess so, man. But yeah, he's a sucker for the jerseys. He's a sucker for the mascot because at that age it doesn't matter about education or where you're gonna live. It's these jerseys look cool.
Fan of Phil Knight.
Yeah, I want to go to Oregon.
Is he already watching DeAnthony Thomas highlights?
Oh, he's watched Anthony Thomas highlights. Obviously,
awesome.
He's watched a lot of Bo Nix highlights. He has a Bo Nix authentic Oregon jersey that I got him. Actually, Santa Claus got him, but hey, let's be honest. I told Santa Claus what to get him, so I wrote to Santa Claus myself. I have connections. So Santa Claus got him a Bo Nix jersey, and yeah, he's all in Oregon right now.
That's awesome. We'll talk more about signing day. I mentioned some of the kids' names. Send them in or tweet, whatever, YouTube. And let's get some of the kids' names out there. It's a special day for so many in the area. We've got Marcel Robinson out there catching some of it. Might even have an interview with some of the folks from Mandarin coming up later on in the show. And I think Stewart Weber will check in and give us a roundup of what's happening with National Signing Day. And we'll have more for you on CBS 47 and Fox 30. And by the way, this Action Sports Shacks 24/7 network that's starting up, it's going to be a great landscape for days like today in high school. And we're looking forward to utilizing that platform. But let's utilize this platform and talk what a lot of people want to talk about all the time around here in the Jaguars and football. It is Super Bowl week, and that means Trevor Lawrence is doing the interview cycle. That started yesterday on NFL Network. Let's go with the contract first because we talked about that a little bit already. And if you hear him discuss it, there are two things that are very interesting. The question is set up by the NFL Network crew. Like, you glance over at Trent Baalke in the hallway, like, what about me type thing. And you hear Trevor, and it's a pretty good response. But it doesn't sound like, to me, he's in a rush to make things happen. Now, that's more his representation most likely. But I think we know there's plenty of time here for both Trevor and the Jags. And I don't think they're putting a lot of pressure on each party to move this along. Amby, let's play that contract talk from Trevor Lawrence yesterday on NFL Network.
Trent Baalke said he hasn't ruled out a contract extension for you. How do you approach that situation? Does it like glances in the hallway? How do you start the conversation? How do you handle that where now that you're eligible to get this contract extension?
No, I think we have a little bit better communication than glances in the hallway. But no, it's it's something I'm not concerned with. Obviously, I would love to get a deal done at some point, whether it's this year, next year, who knows. I'm not really worried about that. But obviously, you want to have some security and you want to make money. You want to play and do as well as you can. But at the same time, I know I have a job to do regardless, whether I get the extension this year, next year, whenever it is. I have the same job to do. It's not going to change. I gotta prepare myself to be the best player I can be next season and take us as far as we can go. So I know that that's my job and that's not going to change. So I just leave that up to my team and our front office and Trent and everybody to kind of talk about that and figure out what's the best step moving forward for the team first, obviously, and then myself as well. You gotta look out for yourself too. But I understand that there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just about me and my situation. We want to put our team in a good spot to have success moving forward. So a lot that goes into it that I'm not even going to think about because it's not, I got to play football. I got a job to do, and that's not my job.
Well, he's saying all the right things there, Austin. And I start with the beginning part because what I read into that is there's talk inside this building about relationships right now. Trent Baalke and Doug Peterson, Trent Baalke and Josh Allen, Trent Baalke and Josh Allen's team. And what I said the other day and what we've actually just pushed out from our show on Monday, if you're just checking out some of the reels on social media, on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, Jags have to be careful of this relationship stuff. Well, it sounded like from Trevor Lawrence, the relationship is fine. Don't you get the feel there?
Yeah, I definitely get the vibe that the relationship is fine, as it should be. I mean, you're talking about your franchise quarterback. Once again, talk about a double standard. You got to make sure your franchise quarterback's in a good spot, right? So whether that's communication with him, communication with the agent, yes, as long as everyone's on the exact same page, no one feels some type of way, some type of ill will, I'm happy to hear it. So, yeah, based by that conversation right there with that interview, Brent, I would say, yeah, everything seems to be on good terms.
Yeah, so that's part one.
Mm-hmm.
The other part, listen, Trevor said something similar right at the end of the season. So this isn't earth-shattering stuff. But don't you feel like from what he said there's a patience about him? There's almost like a let this thing settle in. Let's see where this goes. And keep in mind, the Burrows of the world or everybody else seem to get these deals done close to camp or close to the season. So we have plenty of time from the calendar standpoint. But we also have plenty of time because this is going into year 4. And I almost got the sense maybe Trevor says, hey, maybe we should wait on this. Let me go show you what I can do next year, and I'll sign that deal next year and get $60 million a year from you.
Well, and that was going to be my question to you is if you're Trevor Lawrence's camp right now, and he also mentioned job security is big, right? You got to have the job security, and signing the contract maybe this season would provide a little more of that. But at the same time, we've seen the story of Lamar Jackson. You bet on yourself, and sometimes, depending on what you think about how his contract panned out, but the guy got a lot of money. All right, he's a top 5 of the highest paid quarterbacks right now in the NFL. I think, what was it, 5 years, 260 or something like?
I think that
with
is
the bonuses
that
and everything
right.
too. Yeah. So, doing very well for himself. Does it benefit Trevor Lawrence?
5 years, 260 on the dot.
There you go.
That's pretty good.
It was kind of an even number.
That's good.
But does it
5 years, 250 is an even number,
True,
right? 5
yeah,
years,
but
260 is pretty good.
Yeah. Does Trevor Lawrence benefit though by playing this year? And, some could say risk it for the biscuit, knock on wood with injuries and everything. Or do you try to get a deal done this year if you're Trevor Lawrence's camp?
I think that's a great point. I think you try to get the money when you can get the money. Okay?
Okay.
Let's start there. But I also think this is a great situation to bet on yourself because the floor for Trevor Lawrence is still, in my opinion, and in his opinion, and you'll hear other comments, better than a lot of the quarterbacks around the National Football League. He is not out of a job if things don't go as well as he wants them to do or go next year. He's still going to make money. He's still going to make a lot of money playing football in this league, and probably for the Jacksonville Jaguars, regardless of what happens. So I actually think the calculated bet on himself to go have a big year and get next year market value rather than this year market value is not a bad deal. Remember now, the guy's got $35 million sitting in the bank. I don't know if it's in the bank, but he's got $35 million or so from his rookie deal.
Plus, he's got some endorsements coming.
Plus, he's got a lot of endorsements.
And
money's not a problem.
Those aren't all local endorsements either, by the way.
No,
talk about Subway and some Gatorade coming at you.
So, how about you? You know this world better.
Yeah.
I mean, where would you go if you're the agent
yeah.
and marketing team advising Trevor Lawrence? Hey, let's sit back on this one, or let's go.
So here's what I'm a little worried about: sitting back and waiting and betting on yourself. And you know how I feel about it. I'm always campaigning for players to bet on themselves. I love to see players get paid. Lamar Jackson, a classic example. When Lamar Jackson sat out, though, and he was looking at his team, number one, the team had an identity, right? You knew what that team was going to be about. Pounding the rock first, passing secondary. You knew you had a pretty good offensive line already in Baltimore. These are the questions that Trevor Lawrence has to ask himself in terms of what's this team's identity right now? And Brent, me speaking personally, I don't know. I think you want to be a pass-first team, but then sometimes Travis Etienne, gets the ball. I have no idea who this team is right now. And they have to find that this offseason for sure. So number one, do you have a team identity? Right now, probably not. Number two, do you have the offensive line to be confident you can stay upright the entire season? Well, I think we saw how that turned out. So depending how the draft shakes out, depending how free agency shakes out, then yeah, maybe I can gain some confidence there. But right now where it sits, I'm not that confident either. So if I'm Trevor Lawrence's agent, I need these questions answered first before we even talk about, trying to bet on ourselves right now.
Well, yeah, I get all that. I think there's a lot to wrestle with right there. I would say this. This is the other part of representation. You're Trevor. I'm your representation here.
Okay, let's do it.
The reason why these guys try to go get their money now is because they hold the power now. Next year, the franchise holds the power because fifth-year option becomes a part of this. Then you don't have to rush it. And then even after that, franchise tag 1, franchise tag 2. So after this offseason, as a player who's eligible now to get a big deal, you lose the power in year 5, potentially year 6, and potentially year 7. So that's where you got to be careful. Can you begin to talk like, hey, if we don't get it done now, we're cool with betting on ourselves if it helps the team too move money around for next year. But we ain't playing on that 50-year option. Like, we're getting a deal done next year. So is there trust there? Is there a good relationship there? Can you bank on that there? That becomes part of the deal too.
If you see him getting his contract sometime this season, where is he going to rank in terms of highest paid quarterbacks? Because once again, coming off of a season where kind of underachieved. And I know you kind of echoed this yesterday a little bit in terms of, well, look, you guys took me number one for a reason, right? I've been nothing but a great, teammate for this, and a representative of this city. There's a lot of things in Trevor Lawrence's favor. But you know what I always say, Brent? It's what does the money say? Is the money going to say that if Trevor Lawrence gets a contract this year, will he be a top 5 paid quarterback? Will he be a top 10 paid quarterback?
I believe this. If the Jags pay Trevor Lawrence this year, they're paying market value. They're not paying some discount because he got hurt the last 6 games, because he turned the football over. They're paying him now because they believe he's the guy like Herbert, Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, Josh Allen, you name it. That means that's market value. Like, that is not this whole discount thing. You can't. I hear fans say that all the time. That ain't it. That is not it. Can you save a few bucks here or there? Maybe. Can you craft this maybe to benefit the team a bit more? You screwed this kid up in year 1. Remember that. I'm coming back to that. And he kind of has helped you rescue. You want this guy as the face of your franchise. Ritz wants him as the face of their cracker.
Somebody mock that up right now, please. All right. Well, then, if we're going to compare, if you're saying there's going to be no hometown discount, he's getting top dollar right now. I just looked up some contracts. I'm seeing some names.
$55 million a year.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So we're talking 5 years, 255, 260.
Yeah.
Going to be in
That's
the Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen camp.
Welcome to doing business.
Okay.
You know what?
Okay,
hey,
man.
Hey, Jags, you're charging me $100 a ticket now or whatever. You know why? Because that's the market.
Okay.
Right? We raise our ticket prices because that's the market. We sell our houses. Well, that's the market. You want your franchise quarterback. That's the market.
Okay.
Or hold off and don't do the deal.
Yeah. Got you.
If you're not willing to do it, don't do the deal. This isn't a hard negotiation. That's my point. This ain't $46 million. That's not what it is. This is going to be market value. And by the way, fans, it ain't your money. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but Brent, you have to worry about it when it comes to salary cap, which I always say is not even real. But in this case, if you're talking a Jalen Hurts type of contract here, in a couple of years, you got to do some restructuring to try to get weapons in here then.
Part of the game, man.
Okay.
And that's why you better be good at it, Jacksonville, in that front office. That's part of the game. And we're seeing other teams be able to do it. Kansas City Chiefs seemingly are doing it just fine. Let's take a break, and once again, going along in that first segment, Austen Lane, we're on a roll from arcade games to Trevor Lawrence's big contract, and we're not done talking Trevor just yet. It's National Signing Day, and there's a look at our Action Sports Jacks All-Prep Top 25 team. Congratulations to all those guys, most of them going to big places, including Lathan Biddle, the Bartram Trail running back, who signs on to play at Utah today. Just be yourself. Maybe we're talking about being a dad or a mom, a first responder or a teacher. Maybe it's a sports fan. We love those. We're talking about anyone in the Jacksonville community. At Community First Credit Union, just be yourself means being real. When you partner with Community First, it's straightforward. They're people connecting with you so you can be yourself. I've been coming here to Community First for years. This is the Bartram branch, the one I usually come to. And they have mortgage loans, personal loans, and auto loans. And I'm almost done paying off that truck loan. Just a few more months. Good rates, easy online banking, and friendly customer service when I have a question. It's easy to be myself with Community First. They live up to the slogan in their name. Community First has partnerships in the Jacksonville community with the Iceman, the Florida Theater, the Jacksonville Zoo, and many more. Visit one of the Jacksonville branches or find out all you can do with Community First Credit Union at communityfirstfl.org so you can just be yourself.
Start your morning right. Start your morning right. A new day, a new traffic headache. But Action News Jack's traffic expert, Maritza Ross, is here to guide all kinds of daily drivers, like the traffic dodgers.
Don't worry, I'm going to get you around this mess on I-95.
The side street seekers.
Now you can exit early on 17 due to
the last-minute leavers.
If you're getting a late start this morning, here are your fastest routes.
So let Maritza save you time on Action News Jax this morning.
I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we're a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnicht family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles from Nimnicht Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnicht Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids. Financing rates as low as 1.9% right now for eligible buyers on Terrains and Acadias too. Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnicht Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at nimnichtbuickgmc.com. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
I've been forecasting the weather for a long time, and no matter where I go, I always get asked the same question.
Hey Mike, what's the weather gonna be like?
Hey Mike.
Hey Mike.
Mike, hey, what's the weather gonna be like? I don't mind being asked because I always have the answer. Great day for a perfect round of golf. Hey, little rain later today. So go ahead, ask me.
Hey Mike, I'm heading out. What's the weather like tonight?
It's the same question, even at home.
Mike Burrish, he's got your weather answer on Action News Jax.
Go where all the pros go. Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute takes care of athletes at the highest level, like the Jacksonville Jaguars players. They will take care of you, too. Our team covers a lot of teams here in Jacksonville. FSCJ, JU, the Axemen, the Jumbo Shrimp, the Sharks, and, of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars. JOI covers all those teams as well. And then there's youth sports. My kids play baseball and softball. And whenever we have an injury question, the first call is to JOI. Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute has been serving Jacksonville for 30 years, and they have over 30 specially trained physicians and assistants at 5 locations in the area. If your injury is specific to an area of the body, JOI has a specialist. They also are leaders in robotic surgery, joint replacement, and sports medicine. JOI Rehab has 13 locations and 90 therapists to get you better. Comprehensive care with caring physicians and staff at JOI. From youth sports to high school, college, and the pros, Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute, JOI. Go where all the pros go.
When the sun sets and night begins, Action News Jax is working to bring you the big, important stories at 11 you need to know about.
Live in downtown, from Orange Park,
from the south side,
from all over Jacksonville, we keep you informed on local news happening now and get you ready for what's next tomorrow.
Plus, Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish has the area's most accurate forecast to help you plan for the day ahead.
Live at 11, it's worth staying up for CBS 47 Action News Jax.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Coming soon, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Dewey, there he is. Breaking up Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Let's go. Let's make it happen, Brent.
It was always the Jags.
Well, you can't really use that term this year, can you?
Kind of fizzled.
Yeah.
Or can you? Does it fit even when they collapsed?
I mean, I'd rather have it in a positive manner than a negative one. But that's on you, I guess.
Let's see. What do we got? Some comments here. Finally catching the new show, says Jag for Life. James, he's a good contributor during the old show on ESPN 690. He's been in jury duty. Sorry about that.
Oof. Yeah, I got invited one of those too, but thankfully they blocked me off it or whatever.
They did?
Yeah.
They didn't allow you?
No, like I was supposed to show up, and then they said you're no longer needed. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Nathan says, good morning. Duval Jags. Brent is in his sweet spot when it comes to talking about Jags football. Oh, thanks. I didn't know I was reading a compliment. Let me read that one again.
Brent had to throw
Read it
that one in
louder.
there. Yeah, that was a
Let me
setup for
read it
sure.
louder.
Checks in the mail.
Thanks, Duval.
Checks in the
Check
mail.
is in the mail. It was always the Beehive. Delphonic.
Brent, real quick, you mentioned it was always the Jags. You know, that was kind of the slogan of a pretty fun year, you would say.
Yeah, it was
right?
great. Yeah.
Obviously, this past season, it was what it was. Don't want to get into it too much. If you're going to predict a slogan for this up-and-coming season, like when it's all said and done, you know, it's a year from now. Hopefully, you know, we're popping champagne over a long playoff run. But what is going to be the slogan? Let's go. Let's dive into the future here. What do you see being the slogan for this 2024 Jags team?
Oh, wow. That is good. I like it. I'm putting it out on social media right now because I like it so much.
I like it.
Hamby,
feel free to chime in, too, if you got something good.
He's probably working on a lot of the stuff. Yeah. But it was always the Jags. You know, we had slogans in the past like the set. Like, it was always the Jags was kind of born organically, right?
Correct, yeah.
But remember, like, you had the all-in stuff when you were playing, I think. Didn't Shaw do that, like, year one?
Yeah, man. And they didn't use my video that I had. I was at a roulette table, and I threw the dice, and I was wearing shades, and I look up, I go, I'm Austen Lane, and I'm all in. And they never used it.
He never did.
No. I mean, gambling probably not the best look inside
now
the
you'd be
stadium.
okay with it, maybe.
Oh, yeah. They'd celebrate that now.
Let's see. What else? What can we go here? I think it's kind of like a rebirth, a resurgence, You're really putting me on the spot.
I don't know, man. Sorry. I mean, do you want to take some time between breaks and we can come back to it?
I mean, let's talk this out a little bit,
Okay.
though. Like, do you think the Jags are going to fall flat? There's some people I've talked to already that believe this is going to be messy because of what things have come out over the last 3 weeks, the whole Trent thing keeping them, that this could be like a 7-win season that becomes disappointment. Everybody gets canned.
Yeah.
But I actually think they're a pretty good roster that they can add to, and I think the quarterback and coach are good, right? I'm not getting off that. I think quarterback's good. I think the coach is good. I think they're probably going to have some holes that we're not going to like, but they did 2 years ago and then went on a run. I think they're now, what they've settled into is a team that actually can be over 500 every year. It's back-to-back years for the first time in 20 years. The box they didn't check is going to the playoffs back-to-back for the first time in like 25 years. If they could have done that, we would have got sustained winning going to the playoffs. So I really feel like they're going to be right in the mix. I also don't feel like they're going to be 14-3.
Jacksonville Jaguars right in the mix.
Man. What do we got over here?
Nothing. That's
not good Trent Baalke
lobster
stuff.
bisque for everybody. Yeah, we know.
Hey,
how I
Nathan
feel about
says,
that.
should we just go with now what?
Now what?
Lobster bisque for everyone.
I'm Trevor Lawrence. Now what? Get your season tickets now. Like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Receipts cashed.
Receipts cash. I mean, if it's going to be...
How about this?
Okay.
No more note-taking.
There we go. I'm Trevor Lawrence. I'm not taking notes anymore.
Well, but you go this. Something to that effect of saying, we don't care what you say. We're worried about us. We know we got to be better. Like, you can play off of that. I mean, maybe it's not no more note-taking, but something to that effect, like internally, where, you know, you can do the old it's all about us type of thing. But I think we're getting to that. Like, it's got to be internally. That's where you're going to have to go with this. I think Trevor. You'll hear some more of his comments and his stuff. Like, because he's the setter here, right?
Yeah.
He's the tone setter. He's got to be. So it's got to be something off him.
Yeah. I mean, to me, like, and it's so cliche because I know Detroit has done this, but like Duval versus the world or something like that. Because like what I truly feel like it's going to be, and we'll see how this how the offseason shakes out here. Houston has to be the favorite going forward. Right? Like everyone's on the CJ Stroud bandwagon now.
Yeah.
As they should be. I mean, guy was impressed.
They've got a lot of cap room. They can grow around that. Yeah, they'll be the favorites probably, but not by a landslide. And I think Indy's going to be right in the mix there too.
Yeah.
Duval versus y'all. I mean, we that's kind of set.
Correct. Yeah.
So I mean, we could do that.
Duval.
They tried to go gritty, not pretty. They tried to get gritty, not pretty.
Yeah.
Which actually wasn't a bad one when they were kind of winning games. They were.
Yeah. Yeah.
But. All right, we'll come back to it.
Let's come back to that.
This is not like you don't come up with this in 2 minutes.
Sometimes you can if it's spontaneous.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah.
But
We're slacking.
Do we got Kaylee in? What is working on it, Hamby mean? Should I go to Kaylee or should I wait? You tell me. We're playing with it. All right, we'll keep brainstorming then.
Keep brainstorming right now. All eyes on us, Brent. What do you got for us? Come on, man.
This isn't a great thing for me to begin with. Like this
in
is
terms
we
of
have creative,
just creativity. Yeah.
Well, we have creative people that come up with slogans and T-shirts and stuff like that. I thought I came up with a pretty good shirt the other day.
What do you got?
Well, I just told you the Mike Tyson punch out.
Oh yeah, that was a great one for sure.
But you try too hard, I think, on these things.
Yeah.
So it's got to be simplistic.
Yeah.
And it's got to be around Trevor.
See,
maybe something with the Roman Coliseum for you.
Get something with the Roman Coliseum. It's got to be something where you got to block out the noise. No noise, just something results, or I don't know. Something like that. Like,
can you speak it into existence that you get more physical? You know what I mean? Like, can you start talking yourself into that you're going to bully ball people a little bit when needed?
Honestly, and you make up a good point. That's what needs to happen here, Brent.
Of course. No, that's what's missing.
But I'm saying, like, in terms of getting an identity, like, this has been my biggest campaign, I feel like, this whole offseason is you need to find out your identity, and you need to establish that identity from the get-go. It can't be, it's week 2, week 3, and all of a sudden we're just going to have, we're going to pass the ball. No, like, you have to establish who you are as a team. Like, when Dan Campbell came in and said we're going to be biting kneecaps and stuff, guess what? His team's biting kneecaps.
Yeah.
Watch how they play.
Yeah, they need an identity.
Correct.
Own the identity.
Own the identity. Not mad about, but what is the identity?
We don't know.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll find it.
We're gonna own whatever it is. We're gonna be us.
All right, we'll keep going on it. We're gonna try this. We're not sure if this is gonna work or not, but we're gonna get Kid Kaylee in here right now. I think, who's checking in from like a free period on National Signing Day. We're just trying it, Hamby? Kaylee, can you hear us? Doesn't sound like Kaylee can hear us.
Oh, I'm hearing
maybe.
something.
We heard something click on. Kaylee, can you hear us? Doesn't look like it's working.
Kaylee going once.
Kaylee going twice. Well, we'll see you on National Signing Day later today. Thanks for jumping in.
Oh.
There it is. See, they're going to have, she's probably like in the school halls, and it's probably not good signal. That's what I was curious about, right, Casey? Bad signal? Yeah, we tried. I don't think it's going to work. Kaylee, we love you. Go back to school.
Oh, is this like kind of like her excuse to get out of school for a little bit? Oh.
Yeah. See that? Yeah. I knew she was going to have trouble going to school.
Yeah.
She thought she might be outside or being able to do it, but inside school, you don't get a lot of self-service.
I mean, she couldn't just skip for the day and come to the studio directly?
Well, she wanted to kind of go home.
Oh, yeah.
But for a period or two.
Yeah, it's National Signing Day. You don't got to go to math class.
They got their seniors. They're all over the place as seniors. Like, they got classes like each student taught earlier today at a different location. Then you come back, and then you have class, and you don't have class. So we figured we'd get it in that non-class period. But I knew we were going to have trouble with the school stuff. Mm-hmm. If you've ever been in a high school, it's really hard to get service.
Yeah.
Purposely.
For sure.
Because the kids are on their phone all the time.
Yeah.
So that makes some sense. All right, we tried. We tried. We also tried to get the Jags to own their identity.
Yes.
We got some other ones? Teal with it. Come on.
Hashtag teal with it.
Come on. That's old. No, we can't go back to teal with it.
When was teal with it? Was I not around for that?
They did. I feel like that stuff has come up. Like the fan base has done it.
Yeah.
Teal with it's not strong enough to me.
Okay. Yeah.
Clear eyes, teal hearts.
Okay.
Sawyer says, be the Kansas City Chiefs.
I mean, yeah. Hey, Doug Peterson, you've seen the blueprint there. You were there in those teams a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's rebuild it, please. Yeah.
All right, listen to this. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk more about Trevor Lawrence and keep the identities coming. The slogan. What's the slogan for 2024 for the Jags? What can they do? We came up with a couple, but we don't know if we like it. Only identity is the best I got right now. It's got to be something original, too, that you can rally around. Like it was always the Jags, which was really good. But you can't duplicate that one now. That's done. That's put in the books. Because here's the deal. The Jags have to do better than that stretch at the end of the season.
That hurts, Brent.
5 out of 6 to lose.
That hurts the soul.
The whole year and out of the postseason. We got to make it feel better around here come the fall. We'll be back on the Brent Austen Show. I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we are a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnicht family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles from Nimnicht Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnicht Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids. Financing rates as low as 1.9% right now for eligible buyers on Terrains and Acadias too. Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnicht Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at nimnichtbuickgmc.com. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
There's never a dull day in Duval. At Action News Jax, we know Jacksonville is so much more than crime stories. That's why we're dedicated to covering every local neighborhood. Real stories told by real people, making a positive impact. Plus, with our fleet of drones, the First Alert Storm Tracker, and our passionate team of reporters,
doing a story about the bad gas that was found here.
You know if it's happening now and in Jacksonville, it's on. Action News Jax, local coverage you can count on.
The friendliest golf course in town, the Golf Club at Southampton. Local golfers have no shortage of options when it comes to picking a course to play here in Northeast Florida year-round. Yet time and time again, I find myself here at the Golf Club at Southampton. Easy to get to off 210 in St. Johns County. It's family-owned and operated and renowned for being one of the area's most player-friendly. That's just one of the reasons we hold the Action Sports Jax Dream 18 charity golf tournament here each fall. The Mark McCumber design layout is great for all skill levels of golfers, from the guys who bomb it a mile on the range to golfers like me who are just happy to put it in the fairway, which Southampton has very accommodating fairways. And if you need new clubs, come down to the pro shop. They'll fit you up and get you a nice new set like they did for me. For more information on membership or to book a tee time and see for yourself, head over to golfsouthampton.com or call the clubhouse at 904-287-7529. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the official home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18. Make it your home for golf too.
Thank you for making Action News Jax the best in Jax and Folio's Best of Jax 2023. Best TV station, Best TV newscast, Best TV morning show. Chandler Morgan voted Best TV anchor. The Chief, Mike Burrish, voted Best meteorologist. And Brent Martineau voted Best TV sports anchor. And while you're on the go, Best news website and Best local blog, The Burrish Blog. Thank you for making Action News Jax local coverage you can count on.
It can be daunting to fix or replace your AC unit. We've done it a couple of times, but it's a better experience because of Bold City Heating and Air. We visited boldcityac.com. They did the rest. There are not a lot of Jacksonville-grown and family-owned air conditioning businesses anymore. Bold City Heating and Air is just that, and it feels like it. They will help you navigate the process with first-class service, and they have no payments, no interest for 12 months right now on new systems. $50 off any repairs. Make sure you're safe and comfortable at home, and let Bold City Heating and Air help. boldcityac.com.
I'm Action News Jax First Alert meteorologist Garrett Beaton. Well, the sun is up and it's going to be a beautiful day.
Sometimes you just need a day to yourself. And Garrett's First Alert forecast makes sure you're ready to go out and enjoy. Garrett and the Action News Jax This Morning team, helping you start your morning right.
Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We know that at our home. You can find out as well. Right now, you can save $1,000 or more when you bundle the Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? Well, CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Kinetico water treatment solutions to improve it. The higher your water score, the better your water. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242, cgcwater.com. Financing options are available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Kinetico dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579. Hey, welcome back to Brent Austen, and that is a look at TPC Sawgrass, the stadium course, and we are just over a month away from the Players' Championship. Had a beautiful day here in Jacksonville. Hopefully it's a beautiful time in March, coming up the week of March 11th. Brent Martineau Austen Lane, Jason Hamby as well, and we've got something out there now on this National Signing Day that is not related to signing day, but to the Jaguars instead. Austin asked, what would be the slogan of the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2024 if you could predict it? And sometimes these are just organic things that happen.
Yeah.
But we will try to figure out what that would be. I said only identity. The problem is we don't know what that even means.
So
very vague.
I think I might have one, Brent.
Oh.
All right. I've been pondering during the break a little bit, and I'm happy with what I've come up with so far. Fortune favors the bold because it's the bold city.
Favors the bold. I don't mind it.
Because then you can kind of like bring like the fans into the mix a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
like
you like that connection, right?
It's football, Brent. We're going to have some fans.
How about this one by, I can't read the name right now. I don't know if I'm butcher that, but Prove the Pride.
Prove the Pride. Okay. See, that's like a Lions thing, though. I think a Lions, I hear like a pride of Lions, you know.
Is the pride of the Jaguars.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, you're right.
Like, I think that does tie it in, and that kind of relates to the city as well.
Prove the pride.
I think Prove needs to be a little something stronger, but I don't mind the pride.
Yeah.
What do you think? Not sold on it. Fortune favors the bold, only identity.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, just picture Trevor Lawrence like, this year, Fortune favors the bold.
I like the bold. I don't know if I love the fortune.
It's hard to imagine Trevor Lawrence saying any of that, considering what we've seen of his pregame pep talks and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
You're one of these guys, huh? You're one of these guys.
I mean, sorry.
Handy from the top rope.
You need to get jazzed up.
Yeah.
I mean,
but just out of curiosity, like, which quarterback does, outside of Jameis Winston, who's the backup quarterback,
good point,
who does the great rah-rah speech before the game? Like, what do we have as a reference
Drew
point?
Brees.
Drew Brees?
Drew Brees does get a little
pretty
wild.
Good one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Did Phillip Rivers do it?
I mean, you think he would have to, right? The way that guy talks so much smack, of course he was saying something before the game.
Did we just never have video of Tom Brady? Like, you only saw him say the, let's bleep and go.
Yeah.
You know, as he ran on the field.
You know, that is kind of wild for as high profile these guys are. We didn't really see, like, the rah-rah speeches from them. Like, we saw Drew Brees all the time for whatever reason. Because, like, Drew Brees was like, hit the helmet and then all that stuff. Like, he was like a coach in there doing his thing.
Yeah,
Drew Brees.
Yeah, he was like, you know, you can kind of picture,
like
right?
grabbing
Some of those
face
huddles.
masks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he was intense.
But, I mean, listen, you can't fake it, right? If that's not your style, that's not your style.
And to be fair, and I've said this before a while back, but, like, you don't necessarily want your quarterback to be, like, that high-strung and in your face because they have to be even keel, right? When things go bad, they got to keep it cool. When things go good, you got to keep it calm. So I would rather have a quarterback that's more of just like, you know, kind of like the Joe Flacco type, or even Trevor Lawrence type, where it's like, we don't need a rah-rah speech from you. We just need you to go out there and do your job.
All right, I guess we're going to try to check in with Kaylee again, National Signing Day. Creekside Knights have 21 kids signed. Hey, there she is.
There's Kaylee.
Let's see if this is going to work. That connection doesn't always work so well. Hello, Kaylee Brooke.
Hi, Dad.
Yeah, it was going to be a little jumpy, but we're going to try it. Exciting day inside Creekside High School for National Signing Day. Give us a report. Is everyone fired up about this?
I think they are. I haven't seen anybody but that I know of, a lot of kids are excited. I've gotten a lot of texts already this morning. My kindergarten students were very excited. They did some stuff for me. They had balloons and they made me a book and everything. So that was nice.
Very good. We're getting a little feedback there, but hang with us for one more. Austin, what you got for
Kaylee, this is Action Sports Jacks Austen Lane. It's good to hear from you again. It's been a long time. Your dad kind of shared the story a little bit about how he drew up essentially a contract on a plate about you going to college and playing some ball. What does that mean to finally fulfill your dad's contract and everything, and just how monumental has he been as a part of your journey? Brent, you're welcome for that question, by the way.
It means a lot. My dad has done a lot for me throughout the years since the minute I started playing softball. So to be able to hold up that sign that hopefully today we'll get a picture with that I remember holding up in the car years ago, it means a lot to be able to finally fulfill that dream and I know make my parents proud.
What's going on behind you? Is that the detention list at school, and are you on it?
Would be Macbeth, I am pretty sure. I'm in an English class.
Macbeth. Wow, Macbeth.
Macbeth, okay.
One of the worst reads senior year of high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, never even glanced at that one.
Kaylee's a big Shakespeare fan.
Kaylee, really?
No, I am not.
So Kaylee's going to Daytona State for a couple of years. She's going to be in education. Let's give a shout out to some of the other folks that are signing today, including some of your teammates, Kaylee Brooke, and your brother, Ty, and his buddy, Carson, who's going to go to Flagler. But Cora Middleton, she's going to Eastern Florida State College. You'll see her in the junior college ranks. And Bella Campbell and Riley Waters, so that's pretty cool. The Creekside Knights, well represented today. Did we lose her? Still got us? And Brad, yeah, we can hear you. Brag on your teammates a little bit.
Oh, yes. It is cool to be able to play with all of them, for all four of us to be able to play in the same field together the past years. We've grown a lot together. And to be able to watch everybody play clever and hard, I will get to, so that'll be nice. And then just watch Bella and Riley go their thing, the 2 route. It'll be exciting to watch.
All right, good stuff. All right, we're going to give a shout-out to all the other kids, but we're going to say goodbye to you. Now go to class, and then we'll see you at Creekside.
She's a senior. She's fine, Brent.
National Signing Day today.
This month off.
Also, tell Ty hello, and we'll see you guys over there today. By the way, Bree Andrews going to Augusta, Bella Campbell, I mentioned University of Tampa, Natalie Shuriak, I think Lacrosse, Kennesaw State, Leslie Dame, Sienna, old stomping grounds for swimming. Chloe Iliff, soccer program's terrific at Creekside. Lipscomb, Brittany Jennings going to Miami, the U, to run track and field. Haley Jocelyn, Lacrosse St. Thomas. Cole Long, football, good player going to Navy. Brooke Mangisi, I think it is, Lacrosse Queens University. Kaylee Ty, we mentioned Carson as well, going to Flagler. Cora, Eastern Florida State College. Christian Miller, big-time stud in the track and field world now. Okay. He's going to University of Georgia. Ashton Reynolds to Stetson to play football. Avery Robinson, how about UCLA soccer?
Dang. I mean, I feel they're like a top echelon team right there.
Very good. Wow. Tanner Simons going to Florida State for cross country and track. Hayden Sundman, swim and dive, Virginia Tech. Sky Tumblety, soccer at Columbus State. Riley Waters to Mars Hill University up in North Carolina. Jack Zern, cross country and track at Flagler College. We're going to mention some of the kids' names from all over the area. That's the Creekside ones, well, because I have it right in front of me. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have, in Northeast Florida, we love hanging out on the back. A little baseball. We'll do that when we come back here. Brent and Austin. Oh, almost did it.
No.
Brent and Austin show at 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. We're just trying stuff out. I think we need better Wi-Fi in the schools around here. Like, that's one thing we just learned. But it's probably better. Keep the kids off their phone. In Northeast Florida, we love hanging out on the back patio, maybe grilling out lunch or dinner with the family, enjoying the good weather, or maybe enjoying the big game on the TV. Or maybe your favorite team in town, the Action Sports Jacks team. This is great, except for when it's really hot or the bugs start coming out. But what if you didn't have to worry about that? Titan Outdoor Solutions will make your outdoor area a comfortable spot, any time of the day, any time of the year. This makes too much sense. Titan Outdoor Solutions can give your home an upgrade. Customized pergolas, awnings, controlled shade, even retractable screens.
The solution to beating the heat and the bugs and getting more use out of your home is Titan Outdoor Solutions. And this can even help prevent storm damage at your home. Living in Florida and living in your home is already good. Now make it great. Quality products, custom work, locally owned and operated. Visit TitanShuttersAndScreens.com or call 904-484-7580.
Investigative journalism. It's the difference between the Action News Jack style of news and everyone else's.
I'm Ben Becker. This scam is targeting residents on the South Side.
We investigate so you're crystal clear how a story impacts you.
I'm Emily Turner. Take a look at the fine print because you're still getting billed.
Because our reporters don't just tell you what happened. We break down how it affects you and your neighborhood, which is why people are putting their trust in us. Action News Jacks at 5 and 6. It's local coverage you can count on.
Stop by the new car sales event happening right now at Greenway Kia at the Avenues. $500 in a job gets you in a Kia. And Michael Montiero and the staff here at Greenway Kia are here to make it happen. Experience great customer service and become a part of their family. And while you're here, check out the Kia Forte GT line, full of comfort, innovation, and has driver assist technology. And how about the affordable new Kia EV9, the fast-charging, all-new electrical SUV with high-performance capability, 3-row seats with 304 miles of maximum driving range. Over 1,000 new Kia models, some starting at $199 a month. And as always, get the 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Come shop at Greenway Kia at the Avenues, located on Phillips Highway. You can shop online at greenwaykiaattheavenues.com. And remember, $500 in a job gets you in a Kia at Greenway Kia at the Avenues.
Before Action News Jacks at 5 breaks today's top stories, know this. We're asking the tough questions for you.
Were you targeting the Tebows?
Our team of reporters are relentless,
Do you have anything to say to your former employees?
working to find answers,
If we wait in the parking lot, you'll talk to us on camera.
never stopping,
Have you paid back any money?
so you know what's really going on.
Your own counsel said it was an investigation.
I'm just asking questions. I mean, is it a conflict in your mind?
Action News Jacks at 5. It's local coverage you can count on.
It's a big month of hoops ahead at UNF Arena. The Ospreys are playing well and in prime position for a good seed in the A-Sun tournament come March. And we want to see you at the arena on February 17th. There's not a game that night, but we do have a lot of fun planned with the Blue and Gray Bash, the annual UNF party. We will be there with Action Sports Jacks. Dan Hicken and I play host. You just bring the fun. The event raises money for student-athlete scholarships at UNF. It's in the arena for the first time. Just click on the QR code you see or head to unfospreys.com for more information. It's an 80s-themed night with a sit-down dinner, drinks, live band, silent auction, and so much more. February 17th, VIPs get in 5:30 until 7 p.m. Then the main event is 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. Celebrate 40 years of athletics at UNF. 80s-themed prom attire. February 17th, the Blue and Gray Bash, bigger than ever before. And don't forget to check out unfospreys.com for news, schedules, results on all things UNF Ospreys.
Streaming right now on Action News Jacks.
Let's get your morning started.
It's local.
Take a look at this surprising video.
It's breaking. It's weather 24/7.
I gotta keep you guys safe.
It's original.
More trucks, more food.
It's entertaining. Now it's new and free. Everywhere, anytime. Stream Action News Jacks wherever you watch.
Perfect Rack Billiards has a deal for you. 50-cent Wing Fridays during lunch. Get out of work early, get a head start on the weekend, or just take a lunch break. 11:30 until 3 p.m. on Fridays. Every Friday, Perfect Rack Billiards with 50-cent wings for lunch on Fridays. A perfect place to stop in Murray Hill, play some pool, play some darts, maybe some shuffleboard. Now, that's a heck of a lunch break. And get those 50-cent wings on Friday just to make it better. 11:30 to 3 p.m. on Fridays at Perfect Rack Billiards. Welcome back to Brent and Austen here on a Wednesday, show number 3 of this debut week for us. Back at it again here on the social media side, 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. And we got big things in the works, of course. Action Sports Shacks 24/7 on the horizon. And that is coming soon in the next few weeks, and more details, more places to find the show, more content on that as well as we begin a whole new network. But for now, on social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, we're getting on Instagram and TikTok and other things like that. And we've got some fun stuff out there, from the one arcade game that you would bring in to your house if you could, to what should the Jags slogan be in 2024. It was always the Jags, was 2 years ago.
Correct.
Didn't really have much of one. They tried gritty, not pretty for the defense, and then everything just fell apart down the stretch. But we're trying to predict what it could be. Someone said, here we go again. I don't think that's the one they're going to ride with.
Buckle up your seatbelts. Yeah.
So which can they put out there? What should they embrace? And I think somebody on the, speaking of embrace, said, embrace the hunt. There you go.
Okay.
Take it to the bank.
Ah, okay.
How can you kind of relate to the fan base in this as well is interesting. All right, we've got another special guest in as we try all sorts of guests here on the show, from Kaylee on National Signing Day a short time ago to, Dad and Mets outfielder. I don't know which one is harder right now for DJ Stewart. I think DJ can hear us. What's up, man?
Nothing. How are you guys doing?
Hey, great to see you. How's dad life, by the way?
It's great. It's definitely busy. I actually just had to put her down for a nap. Mom's out running errands as we're getting ready to leave next week. So I'm on dad duty all by myself today.
All right. Do you get nervous when mom leaves and you're all by yourself?
Definitely. Especially when she was first born. Don't really know what I'm doing. Wife worked in labor and delivery, so she has some experience with children, but it's definitely different whenever it's your own and you're responsible for.
That's awesome. Give us a little details. Baby girl?
And,
what's her name?
Baby girl. She's 10 months old. She was born on opening day last year, March 30th. We celebrated her 1 year birthday Saturday, just because birthdays during the season. Her name's Oakland. Growing. She's already walking. Started walking in about 9.5 months.
Oakland, any tie in there, or is that where you were going?
No. It's Oaklyn.
Oh, cool.
My wife's middle name's Ashlyn, and her mom's middle name is Lynn. So she wanted to keep Lynn in there, and I wanted to throw a little twist on the name, so we came up with Oakland.
I was going to say, because if it was off something related to the A's, you'd now have to go to Vegas or maybe like Utah or something. I don't know where the heck they're even landing.
Yeah, it's funny. You see stuff in like social media when obviously we had her. Everyone's like, "Oh, confirmed DJ Stewart's going to the A's," but that's not the case.
Brent Martineau Austen Lane here, former Jags player, DJ, and we do this show together. Your journey's a fun one to follow, man, from Yulee to Bowles to Florida State as you repping the hat, and now making it to the big leagues. What's this been like? What was the last year for you like as you were able to really get up to that big stage once again?
Yeah, it was kind of all over the place. The previous offseason, I had to have knee surgery for the second time. So rehabbing, I was also a free agent, not really knowing what's going to go on. Luckily, signed with the Mets to a minor league deal. I knew what I was capable of doing as long as I was healthy. Obviously, I was able to stay healthy this past year and put up really good numbers in AAA, then get called up, get the opportunity to play towards the end of the year, have a good year, and re-sign there. I'm happy where I am. I love New York. My family loves New York. So it's a fun experience, that's for sure.
DJ, I think one of the biggest differences, it seems like, from the NFL to Major League Baseball is some of these guys come in so young that play baseball, out of high school. Obviously, there's minors and things like that, but you spent a couple years in college, but you did leave early as well. Where you're at right now in your career, what would you tell yourself in terms of advice from that guy that was getting ready to get drafted and go play some Major League Baseball?
There's a lot, honestly. One of the big things that I would probably say is filter in and out what everyone's trying to say to you. Obviously, they have great intentions of helping you and getting better. But I think I let a lot of what coaches at some point would tell me and not really trust what got me to this situation. Just kind of getting all the information from them and wanting to use that information, but it always wasn't beneficial for me as the player that I am. But knowing that they are trying to help you, that's one of the biggest things is just having confidence in what you do. Pick pick the certain things that help you that coaches say and use those to your benefit, but don't try to do everything that they say.
I could see that tough balance, by the way, because you get to that level, you get really good coaching, and you respect what you're getting in, but you got to balance with what got you there, and that's a tough conversation. I think that's a tough conversation at any level. You probably had a bunch of hitting coaches over the years or did lessons, and you're like, hey, I'm good here. I just want you to help me with this part, right? Everybody wants to recreate or craft or start from new sometimes, especially when you've got a good player or a good hitter and kind of have a piece of it. That is a delicate balance, and I bet you're not the only guy that wrestles with that.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not saying that there are any bad intentions at all. They're all trying to help me, but there are certain times I'd be in the box early in my career at the professional level that I'm thinking about multiple things that I've heard from coaches, and then all of a sudden the bat's over, and I don't even remember what pitches I saw. And I'm sitting on the bench after getting out, and I'm like, I don't even know what he just threw to me because I was thinking about too many different things.
Yeah, that makes sense. By the way, DJ Stewart's going to be at Palm Beach Autographs tomorrow night, 6 o'clock until 7:30. That's in the Avenues Mall. Our buddies at Palm Beach Autographs, and DJ signing from 6 p.m. until 7:30. And how about this? 100% of the money raised is going to support the 14U Hustle softball team. So, hey, you got a little girl and going to help out the world of softball, which is obviously a big world of softball now. So that's pretty cool, DJ.
Yeah, definitely. Martin Buckley at Palm Beach Autographs. He's done a great job with me over during the off seasons, getting my stuff that I've used during the season and getting it signed, getting it off. And this is just a way for me to kind of give back to the community and also give back to the softball program. His daughters play with Hustle, so just go out there, sign, have a good time, take pictures, and obviously, like you said, all the proceeds go to youth softball with Hustle. I don't know if my daughter's going to play softball, but obviously, being a girl dad, you open your eyes to these avenues now.
DJ, this is Jason Hamby. I want to take you back to late August. You had a game-tying homer against Jose Leclerc, and then you watch him the rest of the year kind of become the premier closer all the way out through the World Series. Did you watch the World Series? Was there, you're watching him dominate, and you're like, wow, I took this guy deep in a big situation about a month or two ago.
Yeah, we watched the World Series. My wife absolutely loves playoff baseball. I mean, I love watching it too, but I'd much rather be playing. So it's kind of a balance for me. I'll watch it because she'll have it on. She loves it. But you don't think about those situations. Obviously, knowing that I homered off of him, he's a great pitcher. But never really thought of that. Like, oh yeah, you homered off of him. I know what I'm capable of doing. But my goals at the end of the day are just to help the team as much as I can. When those situations arise, like I said, help the team. But you don't really, yeah. I mean, he's playing at the same stage as me. I got him that time. He might get me next time. That's just the game of baseball.
DJ, one of my favorite highlights from you, and you keep in mind, I'm an MMA fighter now. I fight in the UFC, so I appreciate a good brawl. And obviously, you had one here in Jacksonville.
I knew this was going to come up.
I mean, I had to bring it up. You know what I'm saying? Listen, usually when I watch baseball players, they're always kind of tentative. They're not about that life. By all indications, you, sir, were indeed about that life. Can you take us back to just that moment of that bench clearing brawl? What went down? How were you feeling? And did you win the brawl?
So where my mindset is in this whole thing is I'm 0 for 3 going into this at bat. At this point, I think I've reached base probably 30-something straight games or something safely. Uh, and I'm just thinking I haven't done anything. I'm in Jacksonville, my hometown. I'm 0 for 3. All my family, friends are here, and I've literally done nothing. And here I go rolling over down the first baseline. And I'm so angry that I'm just running as fast as I can to get to first base, not even thinking I'm going to be safe. End up running into the pitcher and first baseman. And I'm just, when I get through the bag, like, okay, you're safe. And I turn around and the first baseman's in my face. And some words were exchanged. I think I pushed him out of my face. My first base coach kind of pulled me away. And then next thing I know, everyone's on the field, and the first person there is Jameis. And that's one of the reasons I love him is, I mean, he's one of the best teammates ever. He's got my back no matter what. He's got any of his teammates' back. I wouldn't necessarily call it a brawl. It was a big pushing match, I think. What really upset me was I was suspended for 4 games for pushing him out of my face. And I later learned that if I would have done more, it still would have been four games. So
you should have got your money's worth then, DJ.
Exactly. So I got a 4-game suspension for pushing him and kind of being out of the brawl because my first base coach was like, don't do anything to really, really get yourself in trouble. When I didn't think, but I still got suspended.
That's good stuff. DJ Stewart with us. We won't keep you longer, but I can't let you go without asking you about 11 and Mike Martin and the recent passing. And obviously, what a legend, right? What are your thoughts? What are your emotions of the last few months around his situation, but also the recent passing?
Yeah, emotions have been kind of everywhere just because the opportunity he gave me to be a Seminole. I grew up a Florida State fan. I actually got offered by some other schools in Florida before Florida State, but it didn't hit me like it did Florida State when he personally offered me. I think I waited about a week later and then committed as a sophomore in high school. So when you look back at those situations and you go and play for him, obviously one of the things that I think a lot of players want to do when they commit to him was to bring a national championship back to him. We weren't able to do that, but the lessons that I've learned from him, how to be a professional on and off the field and just a great human, great husband, great father. Those are things that I use every single day that I've learned from him. Obviously, we lost a legend, the greatest college baseball coach ever. I pray for his wife, Miss Carol. It's a sad time right now in Tallahassee, but there's going to be a great celebration of life for him Saturday. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there. I'm actually in a wedding that same day, so I won't be able to be there, but I'm sure it's going to be a huge turnout.
Yeah, DJ Stewart, very well said there. All right, we probably have some Mets fans listening, man. Nobody's going to pick the Mets. Everybody's going to pick the Phillies and the Braves. What do you think about the club as you get ready to go to spring training?
I like our club. We have leadership. We have Francisco Lindor. We have Pete Alonso, Brandon Nimmo, Jeff McNeil. And we have young talent too. I think you guys saw a little bit of that last year with Francisco Alvarez coming up and setting the world on fire. I think we like where we are. We've made some moves during the offseason to make us better. I'm excited to get down there with the guys and kind of get going, learn new faces, learn how each other plays, and we like people doubting us. Last year, I think the expectations were super high, and we didn't meet those. So it's not that big of a fall off. We get one of the best closers back in the game this year as well. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, and we can't wait to watch, man. Enjoy the family time over the next couple of weeks before you head to spring training. Have a big year, and again, the meet and greet tomorrow with DJ Stewart at Palm Beach Autographs in the Avenues Mall. 100% of the proceeds going to help out 14U Hustle softball team. So 6 o'clock until 7:30. Go meet DJ. Really cool story and local product, making it to the big leagues. Everybody proud of you, man. And keep up the good work. And hope Oakland sleeps a little longer so you get a little more downtime for Dad.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
All right, man. Appreciate you checking in. That is DJ Stewart, former Bulls Bulldog, former Florida State Seminole, and current New York Mets outfielder. Cool dude, and I love watching these local guys, man. We take it for granted, these local guys that are all playing in the big leagues and have played in the big leagues. It's just amazing. Dane Dunning, the latest one. Texas Rangers win the World Series, and he won a World Series, but he joins a bunch of other guys with local ties to win a World Series. Maybe DJ's next, and Mets fans would like me to say that.
Through your baseball career, Brent, ever get in a fight or
yeah.
a bench clear? Really?
Oh, yeah. No, I had two of them.
You personally, or like the team had two of them?
Well, yeah, team.
Okay, I got you. I mean, did you get
I was
any
on deck.
licks in?
Yeah, no, I was in the mid. I got to be around it because I wasn't on the bench.
So, like, by around it, like Jeff Van Gundy trying to hug some player's leg in the skirmish, or were you actually like throwing?
I wouldn't say throwing haymakers. No.
All right. Jeff Van Gundy, it was then. All right.
Yeah. So, real quick, one was in high school.
Yeah.
Both brawls. That was the part. One in high school. I was on deck when it happened. It was really our guy's fault, sliding into home. He actually did grab the pitcher's leg, and that kind of started it.
Okay.
But I was on deck at the time in a playoff game, too.
Stakes are high there.
He made it to the big leagues.
Oh, wow.
Dan Wheeler pitched for a long time.
Okay.
And then in college, this one was a great one. And I've said it before, so I won't bore people if you've heard it. But Grand Valley State, great brawl. I mean, great. So much so that they had to forfeit the rest of that game and the next game, and we went home with 2 Ws.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Just from like everyone getting suspended, or why'd they forfeit? Okay, yeah.
Because they all left the bench. We were already in the field.
Okay.
So we had our 9 guys in the field.
Yeah,
And if you leave the bench, it's automatic.
Okay.
You're ejected.
Gotcha.
And then automatic ejection for the next game, too, without even like league approval or anything else.
Yeah.
So we went home with 2 dubs.
Oh, I've been trying to coax guys. If I'm like the away team or something, I'm in the field. Oh, I'm trying to coax fights all day, man. Let's get in and get out.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
Well,
But,
come on.
Matt Thornton pitched in the big leagues for a long time. Lefty.
Okay.
Hit our guy in the batter's box in between innings. In the bat. in between innings. In the bat. In the the on-deck circle. Not the batter's
crowd
box.
the plate.
The on-deck circle.
Can't crowd that plate.
He went 50 cent first pitch.
Yes, he did. Like on-deck circle hits our guy, and then our guy hits their guy, who happens to be the quarterback of Grand Valley State's football team. Played for Brian Kelly, by the way, at the time.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe Brian Kelly was the coach. Maybe he was the coach a little after that at Grand Valley State. And it was on.
It was on.
It was a good one. No, like seriously.
Yeah.
Baseball fights, like you said, are pushing and shoving. This one was a good one.
All right.
The first one in high school was just pushing and shoving. This one was
It was a real brouhaha.
And I'll tell you, those things are great for team morale.
Oh, yeah.
Great for team morale.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you should do it every week. But they do kind of galvanize you.
No, for sure. It brings a team together.
Yeah.
Even if, I don't want to say like in football, maybe we went to a couple college parties. Maybe the team got in a fight with some frat guys. Maybe we won that fight. And maybe it all kind of brought us together a little more.
And I've been
only
on,
won 4 games. But,
so
but we were still a
together.
tight-knit team, though. Believe me, we were a tight-knit team.
Here's the other part of it. It gives you a story to tell for the next 25 years.
Exactly.
But isn't it amazing that both times, both guys ended up in the big leagues?
That's wild.
I mean...
Is there a correlation to that?
Matt Thornton. Well, maybe they had a lot of pissiness to him.
Maybe, yeah.
Matt Thornton, though, I couldn't believe it. Years later, you look up. This is Division II baseball.
Yeah,
Grand Valley State was pretty good, but at the time, we were better.
Yeah.
But he was like a hard-throwing lefty. Look him up for the Chicago White Sox primarily, and then I think bounced around a little bit. But I want to say he played 12 or 13 years in the bigs.
One of my favorite murals of all time in any downtown city is Houston when it was Nolan Ryan. And I forgot who the guy that Nolan Ryan
Ventura.
Yeah.
Ventura.
They have a giant mural of that,
of that
on the side of the building.
They should.
Yeah, and dude, it's like it's really cool.
You know what's crazy about that is I believe Robin Ventura is considered like one of the all-time good guys.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah, he's like the poster child for Nolan Ryan's career in many respects.
Old man strength right there, man.
All right. Hey, great to visit with DJ Stewart. Awesome stuff, and we wish him the best coming up, and he's settled into his career. It started with Baltimore Orioles. For a bunch of locals have actually played for the Orioles. We had like 3 guys locally in the lineup at one time with DJ Stewart. And now after that knee injury, come back and trying to stay with the New York Mets and stay up in the big leagues for quite some time. Hopefully he hits really well in 2024. You can check him out at Palm Beach Autographs tomorrow, 6 o'clock in the Avenues Mall. Let's take a break. We get back to some football talk. And speaking of Florida State, well, we're obviously months and months away from the Noles playing football again, but they will remember the late Mike Martin on Saturday. And according to him and his wishes, it's only going to be a 40-minute ceremony with like soda and Cracker Jacks and things like that.
My style, man.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool
That's
way
cool.
To remember a legend at Florida State. I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we're a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnicht family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles from Nimnicht Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnicht Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids. Financing rates as low as 1.9% right now for eligible buyers on Terrains and Acadias too. Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnicht Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at nimnichtbuickgmc.com. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
There's never a dull day in Duval. At Action News Jax, we know Jacksonville is so much more than crime stories. That's why we're dedicated to covering every local neighborhood. Real stories told by real people, making a positive impact. Plus, with our fleet of drones, the First Alert Storm Tracker, and our passionate team of reporters,
Doing a story about the bad gas that was found here.
you know if it's happening now and in Jacksonville, it's on. Action News Jax, local coverage you can count on.
The friendliest golf course in town, the Golf Club at Southampton. Local golfers have no shortage of options when it comes to picking a course to play here in Northeast Florida year-round. Yet time and time again, I find myself here at the Golf Club at Southampton. Easy to get to off 210 in St. Johns County. It's family-owned and operated and renowned for being one of the area's most player-friendly. That's just one of the reasons we hold the Action Sports Jax Dream 18 charity golf tournament here each fall. The Mark McCumber design layout is great for all skill levels of golfers, from the guys who bomb it a mile on the range to golfers like me who are just happy to put it in the fairway, which Southampton has very accommodating fairways. And if you need new clubs, come down to the pro shop. They'll fit you up and get you a nice new set like they did for me. For more information on membership or to book a tee time and see for yourself, head over to golfsouthampton.com or call the clubhouse at 904-287-7529. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the official home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18. Make it your home for golf too.
Thank you for making Action News Jax the best in Jax and Folio's Best of Jax 2023. Best TV station, Best TV newscast, Best TV morning show. Chandler Morgan voted Best TV anchor. The Chief, Mike Burrish, voted Best meteorologist. And Brent Martineau voted Best TV sports anchor. And while you're on the go, Best news website and Best local blog, The Burrish Blog. Thank you for making Action News Jax local coverage you can count on.
It can be daunting to fix or replace your AC unit. We've done it a couple of times, but it's a better experience because of Bold City Heating and Air. We visited boldcityac.com. They did the rest. There are not a lot of Jacksonville-grown and family-owned air conditioning businesses anymore. Bold City Heating and Air is just that, and it feels like it. They will help you navigate the process with first-class service, and they have no payments, no interest for 12 months right now on new systems. $50 off any repairs. Make sure you're safe and comfortable at home, and let Bold City Heating and Air help. boldcityac.com.
I'm Action News Jax First Alert meteorologist Garrett Beaton. Well, the sun is up and it's going to be a beautiful day.
Sometimes you just need a day to yourself. And Garrett's First Alert forecast makes sure you're ready to go out and enjoy. Garrett and the Action News Jax This Morning team, helping you start your morning right.
Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We know that at our home. You can find out as well. Right now, you can save $1,000 or more when you bundle the Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? Well, CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions to improve it. The higher your water score, the better your water. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242, cgcwater.com. Financing options are available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579. There's a look at the Walnuts all prep top 25 team. And a lot of those guys already signed back in December. Some might even already be on campus, by the way. Tiant White, our player of the year. We'll hear from him a little bit later on in the Brent Austen show. And coming up in just a moment or two, we're going to go inside that studio with Stewart Weber once we have him on National Signing Day. Brent Martineau Austen Lane. I feel like you've told your National Signing Day story in the past.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a major deal, right? I mean, National Signing Day has increased even since you signed to play at Murray State.
No, without a doubt. I mean, when I signed, there was really no, like, pomp and circumstance. It was just me in the gymnasium with a table with a sheet over it, like a cloth sheet, going to Murray State. But the fun fact about me signing was I signed with Murray State literally a few days before I actually found out about Murray State. I was originally supposed to go to Minnesota State Mankato, which was a D2 school, to play wide receiver there. I would have been hanging out with maybe Adam Thielen and stuff. That's where he went. Yeah.
Oh, did he go there?
He went to Mankato. Yeah. I think he went to Mankato. But anyways, so Murray State calls me up a couple days before signing period, offers me a full ride. Didn't even visit the place. Thought it was in New York. Ended up being in Kentucky. But it's all good, man. I signed, and the rest is history. It all worked out, but they're the only school that was recruiting me for a defensive end. Everyone else was tight end or wide receiver.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people know that about your background, too. Is like, you're a basketball player. You played on some really good AAU basketball teams, like
Correct.
one of the better AAU basketball teams in the country, right?
Yes, yeah.
Who did you play with and against?
So
give us some names. Drop some names. Name drop for us.
So played with the Wisconsin Swing, based out of Madison. Played with Trevon Hughes, who played at University of Wisconsin. J.P. Kavinsky, 7-footer, played at University of Wisconsin. Paul Getty played at Valparaiso. Yeah. So Bryce Welsh, who actually went, I think D3, but he was a really good player. But yeah, we played against, like, I remember Greg Oden's team in Spiece in Indiana. Mike Conley, Greg Oden. Who else do we have? We saw Jimmer Fredette play against Jimmer Fredette. Yeah, Jimmer. And then obviously my most famous AAU story was we were in the Las Vegas tournament, the biggest one. It was the Adidas tournament. I think we took fourth in that one, pretty good. But Mike Krzyzewski was next to me in the urinal. And I looked over, all 6'6" of me, and I go, "What's up, coach?" He goes, "How you doing?" And I go, "That's Mike Krzyzewski." I mean, I'm literally
starstruck.
I'm fangirling out to a guy that's, going to the bathroom next to me. But yeah, that was Coach K. I didn't make it weird or anything, but it's definitely pretty excited to see Coach K.
Is that all he said?
That was about it. Dude, I mean, what are you going to say to somebody by a urinal? You can't have a full conversation. You can't do a TED Talk. Just a little nod, nice to see you, and that's it.
Do you have any other famous bathroom stories? Bathroom people?
Any famous bathroom?
You've seen, like, in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I'll tell you, my buddy Pat, my best friend Pat.
Yeah.
Right, so he came down and played a golf tournament with us. It was it might have been a UNF golf tournament, and Dan Marino's son played at UNF for a bit on the golf team, and so I think it was involved in that.
Okay.
So this was at San Jose Country Club, and we were going to the bathroom, and like we kind of went in after the round together, like Pat and I, and Dan Marino's in the bathroom.
Dang.
And it's like, I had actually met Marino's like my guy growing up.
Yeah.
I had met him a couple of different times, but Pat, he's like, he loves that stuff too.
No, for sure.
So I was like, yep, the bathroom with Dan Marino.
No,
we always have that.
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of the bathroom, I mean, Coach K was definitely the most famous person that I've come across that I had the honor of standing next to going to the bathroom. Nobody else really sticks out to me. Another famous person that I was starstruck by standing in line, he was right in front of me, was DMX at Wendy's at the Atlanta airport.
Oh, okay.
And this was back when I was still in college. So
You fanboy there? Will you be like,
No, hey, I was a little intimidated
Really?
because he was like, "Hey, yo, let me get a Whopper," he was in character. And by the way, R.I.P. to DMX, and it wasn't a Whopper, it was like let
Whopper
me get a
at
junior
Wendy's.
bacon tree or whatever it was.
The Dave's Double.
They can get that Dave's Double, but that dude was he was always intense, man.
would have been better if he got a Frosty.
Because you can't say a Frosty and sound tough with it, right? Like, hey, yo, let me get a Frosty. Yeah, do you really want that Frosty, though? I hear you.
It is National Signing Day, and let's go to the TV studio as we try something different here inside this building and bring in Action Sports Jack Stewart Weber. Yeah, thumbs up to you, Weber. What you got on signing day?
Hey, guys. Yeah, we're here in the Action News Jack studio, taking advantage of our capabilities that we have here with this new Action Sports Jack 24/7. OJ holding the camera here for me, helping out. We threw together some of the big signing events going on, and really this is a very small portion of everything going on across the area. I mean, you look at places like the Bowl School, where 18 seniors were signing today, and one of the cool things with every year is the fact that these are athletes from every sport, all across the entire board. Every year they come together, a big signing class. Same thing over at Episcopal. I think it was 8 sports represented in this big group of student athletes, all going to countries all over the country, really, schools all over the country, and it doesn't stop there. I mean, you got at Ridgeview, a shout out to Amy Stutz and Ridgeview High School for celebrating their incredible student athletes that coming from with Clay County Athletics. I love Tammy Talley. Tammy Talley is the district athletic director for Duval County Public Schools. Always getting out there, and she might be logging more miles than any of us in the local media. She gets as many of them as she possibly can. I guess she makes the schedule. Kind of set it up that way. It works out nicely. This was over at Coast High School. High School, honoring 5 of their student athletes. Later, she was over at the beach. Biggest football signing class in the history of 13 plus 2 early college enrollees. 15 total players for the beach over at Fletcher High School. So that's really cool. Shout out to Tammy for making it all over the place and getting it covered. I know you guys have talked about Biddle. Lathan had that big commitment just a couple days ago to Utah. So later on, it'll be him and 4 other players at 3:30 doing their signing ceremony. You've got Gardner Webb for Liam Padron, Kicker Shorter. So 5 Bartram Trail Bears to the next level. Yeah. You guys can talk to me.
You're doing a terrific job. But here's the thing. In our business, we call this mix minus. But I just let you roll anyway, because I have no idea if everybody else is hearing what we're hearing.
Yeah.
But if they are, they're probably like, what in the world is going on right now? So I'm going to slow you down, stop you. But that was really good stuff. And we heard that multiple times.
Okay, well, what's better than hearing me once? Hearing me multiple
twice.
I guess. Yeah. So hopefully that was just you hearing that.
It might have been. By the way, that looks fantastic, though. Great job, and thanks for checking in. We're going to check in with Mandarin and Tiant Weich as well with Marcel Robinson in just a bit, and we will continue to celebrate National Signing Day here on the show. So in that, we think you could hear that too, right, Hamby?
According to the stream, they could hear it. Yes.
They could hear both?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a great inside the business thing.
Yeah.
Because when you're this is going to be a great lesson for everybody that just watched that.
Yeah. And for me as well.
You know when you're watching TV and a reporter will pull their ear stuff, whatever's in their ear, their IFB is what we call it, right? That's what they are hearing.
Yeah.
That's why they pull that out. Like you'll see it, like Adam Schefter will do it. Other people will do it locally. Yeah. And we call that like mix minus. And basically you're getting that echo in your ear as you're trying to talk live on TV, which is super annoying.
No.
I don't think Stewart was hearing it. But for some reason we could hear it.
Yeah, I think we could in the stream also heard that as well. That was the equivalent to me taking an algebra test in college. Honestly. That was wild.
Listen, some of this stuff, I wanted to let that go a little bit. One, because it's really hard to tell from our standpoint with some of the new stuff we have going on. if we can just hear it or if everybody else. But I'm glad that the stream is telling us that they could hear it too.
Yeah.
But appreciate you hanging with us for a couple of minutes because that will allow us to fix it.
Of course, yeah.
So now we got a little test sample of that.
Yeah.
There's some things we're trying to do to test this out, and the only way to test it is live, which is very dangerous.
But when we're really excited for that, I mean, this is cutting edge technology that we're using here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, taking us wherever. I mean, essentially, Brent, if I have like a fight week, I could go like take you behind the scenes at the Apex and stuff, or like when I have a fight coming up, or like stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can do that? Okay.
Absolutely.
Cool.
We do anything.
Okay.
Now,
Sweet.
here's what we do need is a pretty good signal, as Kaylee taught us today.
Yeah.
Right? You got to get a pretty decent signal, or we'd say Ethernet or Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And then we just got to figure out the audio part of that. Steve said it was irritating. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Now try talking on TV. Like, you'll have a new respect for anybody that just pulls if you watch TV tonight or anywhere else, you're going to see it this week.
Yeah.
Somebody will pull their IFB out or their headphones out and be like, I don't care to hear the producer anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening.
Yeah.
So anyway, a little lesson.
Well, it's good that we got like 3 minutes of that, though.
Yeah, I just couldn't tell for sure. Those guys pretty much said, "Yeah, I think you're hearing it," but I couldn't see the stream.
Well, I thought I was having like a stroke because I'm sitting here. I'm like, is somebody gonna say anything? No. Okay, let's just roll with this.
It was exhausting, wasn't it?
In my own little world.
It's so exhausting. I think we need to take a break.
Thank you.
When we come back, though, I want to get back to Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence had a bunch of comments. We got a lot of stuff going on, and we will have that part of it, including being a game manager. Does Trevor need to be a game manager? I thought he had very interesting comments about that label from the quarterback position.
That's a sin right there, calling somebody a game manager.
It seems to be.
You get punched in the face for that.
But I think he has a point. Let's take a break. Brent Austen show here on a Wednesday. What's going on inside that facility? A lot of brainstorming. A lot of thinking about today. What would our 2024 slogan be? Only identity. Prove the pride.
What's up with that stadium?
The future, what is yours? Future favors the bold.
Fortune favors the bold.
Yeah, maybe future favors the bold.
Yeah, maybe that too.
Fortune favors the bold. We'll be right back. Just be yourself. Maybe we're talking about being a dad or a mom, a first responder or a teacher. Maybe it's a sports fan. We love those. We're talking about anyone in the Jacksonville community. At Community First Credit Union, just be yourself means being real. When you partner with Community First, it's straightforward. They're people connecting with you, so you can be yourself. I've been coming here to Community First for years. This is the Bartram branch, the one I usually come to, and they have mortgage loans, personal loans, and auto loans, and I'm almost done paying off that truck loan. Just a few more months. Good rates, easy online banking, and friendly customer service when I have a question. It's easy to be myself with Community First. They live up to the slogan in their name. Community First has partnerships in the Jacksonville community with the Iceman, the Florida Theater, the Jacksonville Zoo, and many more. Visit one of the Jacksonville branches or find out all you can do with Community First Credit Union at communityfirstfl.org so you can just be yourself.
Start your morning right. Start your morning right. A new day, a new traffic headache. But Action News Jack's traffic expert, Maritza Ross, is here to guide all kinds of daily drivers, like the traffic dodgers,
Don't worry, I'm going to get you around this mess on I-95.
the side street seekers,
Now you can exit early on 17 due
the
to...
last-minute leavers.
If you're getting a late start this morning, here are your fastest routes.
So let Maritza save you time on Action News Jax This Morning.
I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we're a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnicht family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles from Nimnicht Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnicht Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids. Financing rates as low as 1.9% right now for eligible buyers on Terrains and Acadias too. Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnicht Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at nimnichtbuickgmc.com. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
I've been forecasting the weather for a long time, and no matter where I go, I always get asked the same question.
Hey, Mike, what's the weather gonna be like?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Mike, hey, what's the weather going to be like?
I don't mind being asked because I always have the answer. Great day for a perfect round of golf. Hey, little rain later today. So go ahead, ask me.
Hey, Mike, I'm heading out. What's the weather like tonight?
It's the same question, even at home.
Mike Burrish, he's got your weather answer on Action News Jax.
Go where all the pros go. Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute takes care of athletes at the highest level, like the Jacksonville Jaguars players. They will take care of you, too. Our team covers a lot of teams here in Jacksonville. FSCJ, JU, the Axemen, the Jumbo Shrimp, the Sharks, and, of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars. JOI covers all those teams as well. And then there's youth sports. My kids play baseball and softball. And whenever we have an injury question, the first call is to JOI. Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute has been serving Jacksonville for 30 years, and they have over 30 specially trained physicians and assistants at 5 locations in the area. If your injury is specific to an area of the body, JOI has a specialist. They also are leaders in robotic surgery, joint replacement, and sports medicine. JOI Rehab has 13 locations and 90 therapists to get you better. Comprehensive care with caring physicians and staff at JOI. From youth sports to high school, college, and the pros, Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. JOI. Go where all the pros go.
When the sun sets and night begins, Action News Jax is working to bring you the big, important stories at 11 you need to know about.
Live in downtown, from Orange Park,
From the South Side.
From all over Jacksonville, we keep you informed on local news happening now and get you ready for what's next tomorrow.
Plus, Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish has the area's most accurate forecast to help you plan for the day ahead.
Live at 11, it's worth staying up for CBS 47 Action News Jax.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Coming soon, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
To Brent and Austen on a Wednesday. Good to have you along. National Signing Day, big day for the high school kids, and a big day in here talking Trevor Lawrence. Had to visit with DJ Stewart as well. And we are in the middle of week one. Week one here on this brand new show and just a part of the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Stuart Weber showing everybody around this wonderful studio, by the way. Olivia Tassley designed it. The Action News Jax team behind the scenes built it. Look at this thing. Fantastic. Stuart, are you going to come along for every show? Because I like this bump shot.
It's fantastic coming at you.
Follow
What's up,
this
Stuart?
right here. Is anybody else doing this kind of stuff? No?
No.
No? Look at that. And you've never looked better, Austen Lane.
I mean, it was back day yesterday. He's like gains going, you know. I don't want to say
look
it.
at back day.
Yeah, I'm looking like a Ninja Turtle up in here. It's all good, though.
It was coffee day in here for me yesterday.
Turtle
And again today.
Back.
That's awesome. What do you buy? What do you work out at like 5:30 in the morning?
Yeah, so it varies. Sometimes 5:30, sometimes 7. All kind of depends on what I have for the evening and everything. But yeah, I try to get one in at 5:30.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's why this time frame works pretty well.
And it's been super beneficial because I actually went to the UFC PI a couple months ago, and we've all come to the conclusion that I'm going to gain a little weight for my next fight.
Okay.
So usually when I'm coming in like around 240, maybe 245, expect to see me around 250, 255 for this up-and-coming fight.
Really?
Which is, hey, I'm not complaining, just eating a lot more and, moving heavy weight.
Are you concerned at all about losing anything when that happens? Because I used to do
In
this
terms of cardio, you mean, right?
Yeah, or quickness because, I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot. Like, that doesn't seem like it's going to be massive. One thing if you gain like 30 pounds or something, right?
Yeah.
But we always did this with players. I remember they trying to add weight to players or lose weight with players, and that's a tough thing sometimes. So any concern about that?
Zero concerns whatsoever because it's going to be quality weight. I'm not going to just splurge and, put on a lot of body fat. It's going to be solid muscle, and if you put in solid muscle, it can actually have benefits in terms of speed and everything. I mean, check out DK Metcalf.
Yeah, you basically, I don't know how much I can tell about this, but you just say what you can.
Yeah.
You went to like a combine for the UFC, right?
Yes, yeah.
And really tested well.
Yeah, so it's crazy. The PI is in Las Vegas, where the headquarters are and everything. And basically they just take you through, like you said, Brent, a combine of testing different markers in terms of strength, speed, explosiveness, all those things. And yeah, I can probably share this. I actually broke 3 records at the Institute. One was for
flex.
I mean, a little bit of flex, you know what I'm saying? So one was for my
flex time.
One was for my right-handed punch. Basically it was like a kettlebell kind of thing that you push.
Okay.
I broke that record. I broke the record for wattage on a bike, like a assault bike.
Yeah.
My 6-second output was the highest that they ever recorded, which was 2,700 watts. So take that for, I don't know what that is.
JJ or TJ.
Yeah. And then in terms of my lower body strength, I actually had the most explosive, like vertical it would have been to ever come through the UFC PI.
That's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
And that's also why we built this table long enough because of the punch.
Oh,
thing.
I mean, I can still jump across the table now.
I know,
Brent.
but the reach
Oh,
is different.
I
You jump
can
like
still
the guy
kick.
in the judge thing? That's crazy. That was
Yeah,
nuts, man.
exactly.
That would
was
be like
wild.
the video of the year.
Gotta be.
Nuts.
Gotta be.
I don't even know if that was late last year now or early this year.
No,
But
That was about 3 weeks ago in Vegas.
Yeah.
Maybe he had seen too many, UFC fights and
Whoa.
recently.
Now, did the people that were supposed to be security, did they all get fired? Because that was a pretty bad job of stopping someone from jumping across a courtroom and putting their hands on a judge?
Ironically, the bailiff was actually praised for the aftermath of, I think, the beatdown he put on the guy.
Really?
Hey, Las Vegas, if you want to see some praise, go ahead and hire me. No one's even coming 10 feet within a judge.
There's your new job.
Let's
You
go.
don't need to sell cannabis.
Hey, Brent, we'll see you later, man.
When you think game manager,
Yeah.
it's a bad connotation to a quarterback, right?
Horrible. Horrible. It's a slap in the face.
You had a list like of game managers in NFL
yeah, I mean,
history.
I can bring those guys back up in a second here.
But like it's Jeff Hostetler.
Yeah.
It's Trent Dilfer.
I mean, well, first of all, show some respect to Mr. Trent Dilfer. He's like the game manager MVP.
Yes,
Dude got a free trip to Disney and everything out of that.
There's a ranking list.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So it is a negative connotation.
Yeah, I would say so.
But I think people inside the industry maybe don't view it that way. That's an outside the industry. That's an us in front of a microphone, a fan, because you want every guy to be Lamar Jackson highlight reel. You want Patrick Mahomes this and Tom Brady highlights, and that's the world we live in.
Well, you know what's wild, Brent? I feel like there's been one, and maybe I'm wrong here, but the one guy that really sticks out to me from coming out of the game manager doldrums to new heights, to new achievements, Jared Goff.
Oh, interesting.
Look at Jared Goff. I mean, you want to talk about a prototypical game manager when he was with the LA Rams, went to a Super Bowl, but nobody was talking about the elite quarterback play of Jared Goff that got him there. What was it about? Oh, man, this Sean McVay offense is revolutionary. What a great mind and everything. Jared Goff goes to Detroit, and now you could put him as maybe a top 5 quarterback, at least put him in the elite category with the numbers that he posted this year.
Okay, that's an interesting thing you say, because I've done this Goff thing a little bit before and looked at him. When I look at Goff play, though, I don't see highlights. I actually see wonderful game management.
Okay.
He makes some great throws, but can you name a highlight from the year of Goff? Like, can you say, like, wow, what a play? And see, that's what I'm talking about. I like that you view it that way. That's cool because they're more of a high-flying offense, which means you can score points in the league being game manager.
Yeah.
But he does make some mistakes sometimes. He's not immune to that. But when he's playing his best football, he's running the offense, staying within the offense, doing what they need him to do, and by underrated throws that he does make. I don't think he gets enough credit for it.
Yeah.
But I also don't see him running around in the backyard and throwing these things. Is that the difference now? It's like you got to be a highlight Sports Center top 10 play or you're a game manager, because he doesn't fall in Sports Center top 10 play.
Okay, I will agree with that. But when you look at his stats, Brent, he was second in the entire NFL in passing yards, 4,575, and he was fourth in touchdowns with 30 touchdowns thrown. And he only threw, it's a lot, but it's 12 interceptions.
Yeah, not a lot.
It's not a lot.
You're throwing it for 4,500 yards, you're going to throw the interceptions don't bother me with these guys.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
You're throwing it 600 times.
Yeah. So, no, to echo the point of Jared Goff, if you're putting up big-time passing yardage and big-time passing touchdowns, no, you're not a game manager. Like, I don't care what it looks like. If you're a top 5 pick in fantasy football, there's nothing game manager about you. You're doing your thing. To me, a game manager is more of, okay, maybe this guy throws maybe 200 something yards a game on a good day, 0 interceptions, maybe throws a touchdown, but more than likely probably going to hand the ball off and not make the turnovers. That to me is a game manager. When you could take your team to another level with your arm like Jared Goff has done, that makes you a pretty good quarterback.
Okay, so listen to what Trevor Lawrence, I think he's saying all the things you're saying. And I can make the case that many times down the stretch of this season, I believe a guy like Patrick Mahomes has been a brilliant game manager. He is not putting up the no-look pass, highlight reel plays that he's got a couple. He's fallen down and Kelsey makes the one. There's a couple. There's always a couple with him. But a lot of it is game management, and keep that in mind when you're listening to what Trevor Lawrence said to the guys on NFL Network yesterday.
You have to manage the game. Every quarterback that has success has to do that. And I look back on games where we've won or I've played well. Obviously you're going to flash and make some plays. I think I have that ability and have that confidence in myself, but you have to manage the game in order to give yourselves a chance to win, especially at the end of the game. So I hear that debate all the time, and I think it's kind of crazy because the best quarterbacks that have played or that currently play, they know how to manage the game. They know how to manage situations, and that's something that I think I have gotten better at every year. I know I have, but I need to continue getting better in order to continue to win more and put ourselves in position to win a Super Bowl. I mean, that's the goal. That's why we play. That's what's on our minds down here in Jacksonville. So being realistic about it, you got to keep getting better at that. And you have to be able to manage the game. I trust my ability, but that only takes you so far. You gotta play smart. You got to make the right play at the right time, especially at the end of the season when the margin is really, really thin.
I love this. I love this about what Trevor's saying because I think he said it all. I think you need to flash when you need to flash. When you need to make the play to elevate your team, you need to make the throw. You need to get away from traffic. Yeah. You need to keep a play alive. But you really need to – see, we say game manager. He flipped it around, which made it make a lot more sense. Manage the game. This is what we say about Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, and I think recently Patrick Mahomes. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, baby, because punt it if you have to. Don't try to be a hero and turn it over. You need the 35, 40 yards on the punt. Mm-hmm. That's what Trevor has to figure out, that balance between when to go try to be the hero and when to take your medicine a little bit. And I think that's what he's talking about.
No, you're not wrong there. I mean, we say the word game manager, and yeah, I think it's a negative connotation, but at the same time, it's a positive if you're not turning the ball over. I mean, that's the biggest part of this whole thing, Brent, is are you turning the ball over, yes or no? Because nothing can hamper a team's momentum. Nothing can change the momentum in a second like a turnover. So if you get like Brock Purdy, for instance. I mean, Brock Purdy for a while was in the MVP conversation. Yeah. I think before they played, was it Baltimore?
That sounds right.
Yeah, he had one.
It was.
He had
going into
one
that
bad game. Yeah, and that kind of got him out of it. I mean, if you watch the Brock Purdy highlights, and he's been called a game manager too. Obviously, he's got supreme talent around him at every level, whether it's George Kittle, whether it's Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, or Christian McCaffrey toting the rock. But he does a great job of being smart where, okay, maybe I will take a sack here. Or maybe, hey, nobody's open. Let me try to get 5 yards, with my legs, and then we'll punt the ball. That's what it's all about. Not having those dramatic, big-time turnovers that are going to kill your team's momentum and put your defense in a bad spot.
Yeah, I agree. I think I think that's an interesting conversation. But it's my number one criticism of Trevor probably that he needs to figure out. He needs to get better at. I'm sure he's got a lot of technical things and other things that we don't see or I don't see that he needs to be better at.
Yeah.
I believe what he was talking about for that minute and 10 seconds is really where he has to be better. You're not going to always make the great decision. You're not going to be perfect in that area. But can you, if he's 50-50 right now, can you get 70-30 on the positive end? If he does that, he's going to be as brilliant as we think he can be. And sooner or later in his career, he's 24. Yeah. When he gets to 27 and 28, by the way, that will get to 85-15. The guys like Breeze and Rivers and others decided to do that as they got older and older. You got better and better at it. I think we saw Lamar Jackson do a hell of a job of that this year throughout most of the season.
Talking about the game manager there, how much of this actually falls on the coach and offensive coordinator as well? Because I can take a look at like Shanahan in San Francisco. I mean, it didn't seem like who was the quarterback back there. Like he was going to get these guys in the best position to win football games. I mean, like Brock Purdy was as a result of a great offense, but also a great offensive mind in Kyle Shanahan. How much of this quote unquote game manager stuff falls on Doug Peterson, falls on Press Taylor?
I do think it does, but it also falls on all the players to buy into what you are. It goes back to what we said, a slogan, own the identity. What I think San Francisco does is they know who the hell they are. I think what Goff and Detroit did all this year, they know who they are. They know what they're trying to do. They're all in sync with what they're trying to do. I think Trevor says this, and Doug says this sometimes, the why you're doing a play, right? Not just the what you're doing, who's doing it, but the why. I still think the Jags are working on the why. And why they're doing this right now and get in sync. And some of that was, well, we couldn't do what we wanted to do in running the ball because we couldn't do that with our offensive line. So now we can't do that and be what we want to be. We can't deliver on our identity because we have to go off script, not just for a game, but really for an entire second half of the year once they figured out they still couldn't get 3rd and 1. So I think it's a hat tip to Shanahan or a Ben Johnson, but it's more than that. When I look at Detroit, man, I look at a team that kind of knows who they are on offense and tries to be who they are. They just try to be themselves.
Yeah.
And I think it really pays off for them. Let's talk more, Trevor, when we come back. Take a break here on Brent and Austen at the top of the hour. Here at noon on a Wednesday, Yulee High School had a big soccer win yesterday. Had some big players come out of there in football as well, and they've got signing day coming up at 2 o'clock. And that includes a quarterback headed to the University of Miami. Action Sports Jacks will be there, and Brent and Austen will be back right after this.
Just be yourself. Maybe we're talking about being a dad or a mom, a first responder or a teacher. Maybe it's a sports fan. We love those. We're talking about anyone in the Jacksonville community. At Community First Credit Union, just be yourself means being real. When you partner with Community First, it's straightforward. They're people connecting with you, so you can be yourself. I've been coming here to Community First for years. This is the Bartram branch, the one I usually come to, and they have mortgage loans, personal loans, and auto loans, and I'm almost done paying off that truck loan. Just a few more months. Good rates, easy online banking, and friendly customer service when I have a question. It's easy to be myself with Community First. They live up to the slogan in their name. Community First has partnerships in the Jacksonville community with the Iceman, the Florida Theater, the Jacksonville Zoo, and many more. Visit one of the Jacksonville branches or find out all you can do with Community First Credit Union at communityfirstfl.org so you can just be yourself.
Start your morning right. Start your morning right. A new day, a new traffic headache. But Action News Jack's traffic expert, Maritza Ross, is here to guide all kinds of daily drivers, like the traffic dodgers.
Don't worry, I'm going to get you around this mess on I-95.
The side street seekers.
Now you can exit early on 17 due to
the last-minute leavers.
If you're getting a late start this morning, here are your fastest routes.
So let Maritza save you time on Action News Jax This Morning.
I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we're a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnicht family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles from Nimnicht Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnicht Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids. Financing rates as low as 1.9% right now for eligible buyers on Terrains and Acadias too. Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnicht Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at nimnichtbuickgmc.com. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
I've been forecasting the weather for a long time, and no matter where I go, I always get asked the same question.
Hey, Mike, what's the weather gonna be like?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Mike, hey, what's the weather going to be like?
I don't mind being asked because I always have the answer. Great day for a perfect round of golf. Hey, little rain later today. So go ahead, ask me.
Hey, Mike, I'm heading out. What's the weather like tonight?
It's the same question, even at home.
Mike Burrish, he's got your weather answer on Action News Jax.
Go where all the pros go. Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute takes care of athletes at the highest level, like the Jacksonville Jaguars players. They will take care of you, too. Our team covers a lot of teams here in Jacksonville. FSCJ, JU, the Axemen, the Jumbo Shrimp, the Sharks, and, of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars. JOI, covers all those teams as well. And then there's youth sports. My kids play baseball and softball. And whenever we have an injury question, the first call is to JOI. Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute has been serving Jacksonville for 30 years. And they have over 30 specially trained physicians and assistants at 5 locations in the area. If your injury is specific to an area of the body, JOI has a specialist. They also are leaders in robotic surgery, joint replacement, and sports medicine. JOI Rehab has 13 locations and 90 therapists to get you better. Comprehensive care with caring physicians and staff at JOI. From youth sports to high school, college, and the pros, Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. JOI. Go where all the pros go.
When the sun sets and night begins, Action News Jax is working to bring you the big, important stories at 11 you need to know about.
Live in downtown, from Orange Park,
From the south side.
From all over Jacksonville, we keep you informed on local news happening now and get you ready for what's next tomorrow.
Plus, Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish has the area's most accurate forecast to help you plan for the day ahead.
Live at 11, it's worth staying up for CBS 47 Action News Jax.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Coming soon, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Welcome back here to the Brent Austen Show on a Wednesday. Good to have you along here on this new adventure for us. Somewhat of an adventure today, but it's a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we're having fun. Come play Miss Pac-Man. No, you can't come to the studio and play Miss Pac-Man. Forget I said that. You can watch us play Miss Pac-Man. We're going to have a leaderboard up sooner or later. And we don't want stuff to clutter the room.
Sure.
I don't want you sending us stuff in.
Well, here's the real question. Are we going to do something with this giant green wall or not?
Well, it's what you don't know.
Okay.
Is it's going to be a big picture of me.
I figured as much. I figured as much.
It's a
neon picture.
It's a giant
mural, oil, acrylic. What are we talking?
Yes.
Watercolor? Yeah.
We actually are working on a big logo there.
Okay.
Which is cool. Like 36 by 34. What's that? 36, that's like 3 feet. So 3 feet
Sounds
by
about
3
right.
feet. Oh, that's big.
That's huge, yeah.
36 inches. Yeah, 3 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a big logo for when we take shots like that or we have people into the room. This is going to be a good entertaining place. We're hopefully going to put a couch in here, not for a session, although that could happen.
Lord knows I'm going to need it eventually. Yeah.
For Jag season.
Yeah, for sure. Get on the couch a little bit.
And but actually for people to come in and kind of check it out, or some clients and all those kind of things.
Where can we put some bongos for NBA slam poetry? Because I feel like now we can kind of like really explore the space a little bit, really explore these acoustics.
That's a good point.
And get some really good slam poetry
You know what I have thought of?
What you got?
Because, we're trying some things out in terms of the video, and you're seeing it, and we'll get some of those ironed out. But I'll give you an example. Here's one thing that I've thought about. Can we get Zach Miller on the show, and he can play us a little tune during an NBA slam poetry?
Now we're talking.
Since he's got his country music stuff out there. Now, I don't know if you want to go the country music stuff and NBA slam poetry, but hey, that would be a hell of a mix.
Now, the question is Zach Miller too big for us, though?
He might be.
Dude's
I'm
playing,
just throwing an idea out there.
I mean, dude's playing in Nashville and crushing it, just to let you know.
I know. So we've connected before, and we try to support his stuff. And I like his stuff. I think he's doing a great job.
Yeah, he's killing it.
But how about we get a house band in here sometime?
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah?
Have some tryouts.
I mean,
battle the bands.
I got you guys covered.
Pretty soon we have Limp Bizkit in here.
Brent, I mean, listen, man. I've echoed this the whole week so far. You're kind of a big deal around these parts. If you can pull Limp Bizkit to do an acoustic set in the Action Sports Jack Studios, let's go.
That'd be pretty good.
Let's go. I'm not sure how good Limp Bizkit would sound acoustic, but do something.
We'll work on it.
Let's go.
I have no idea what that was, but it would be kind of fun, especially during NBA slam poetry.
Yeah.
Maybe we just get the D line in here for the Jags, or a local high school band to help you out.
Yeah, now
give you a little rhythm out.
Let's go. I need some kind of help.
Austin,
please.
my brother's a full-time drummer. He's got you covered.
Oh, say no more.
Is he around? Is he local?
What does he charge?
He plays in every group in Jacksonville.
Is he expensive or not?
I think I can get a family discount.
Yeah, Brent can cover that, man. Put it on the credit card.
I'll take him to lunch after.
We have a
and we should be
Pac-Man
good.
machine in here. We
Put
can
it
afford
on
it.
the tab.
Yeah.
The Brent tab is growing.
Yeah.
Rapidly. Brent Martineau Austen Lane. That is Jason Hamby. Noontime News is on the way. All right. I did this a couple weeks ago. The Jags and the Lions. Let me set this up with this. This is really more about you because I think folks that have listened are maybe not during this time frame, so I'll share my thoughts too. But are really more about you. When you look at the Jags roster this past year, did you think it was a lot different than the Lions? Like what the Lions? Let's go with this. Lions had a better offensive line at the end of the day.
Yeah, for
Clear,
sure.
crystal clear.
Yeah.
Outside of that, and I'm telling, listen, you can take St. Brown if you want, but I can take Kirk if I want. You can take one of the backs, but I can take ETN if I want. You can take Goff, I can take Trevor Lawrence. Like, I'll go to battle with some of these guys. Now, it's hard to say coming off the finish, but let's go back to December 4th when everybody was 8-3. What would the conversation have been?
I mean, it's not a bad point, Brent, because like I would say, well, Sam Laporta, was maybe arguably the best tight end as a rookie, which is ridiculous. But then you had Evan Ingram, who's putting up big-time reception numbers. So that kind of cancels each other out a little bit. At the wide receiver position, St. Brown was the man, but Christian Kirk, when he was healthy. Yeah, I mean, I think offensive line is definitely the difference. The Lions' defensive line, I think, was comparable because, obviously Hutchinson got some love. Well, Josh Allen got some love. Trayvon Walker got some love. Secondaries, maybe, I would say pretty similar. Yeah, I would say that's a pretty fair comparison, which is crazy to say.
But and by the way, the Jags, I know Dan Campbell, but Dan Campbell and Doug Peterson were up for Coach of the Year last year, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And Doug Peterson has a Lombardi trophy. So as much as you want to say about Campbell, the bottom line is both men can coach. All right? Mm-hmm. So here's where I go with this. I think, first of all, the Lions have done a terrific job. And I'll get into more. We're going to hear from their GM, which is pretty wild, coming up. I believe the Jags need somebody like Tony Baselli in the front office, not necessarily calling who picks what and who's here, who's there, as a liaison between Jod and everybody else, the communicator to the fans, the guy that would have stood up at the end of the season and said, this ain't ever happened again. We're going to figure out what went wrong. We've had some bad times around here, but we just lost 5 out of 6, and not even that's ever happened around here before. And it ain't going to happen again because he knows what it means to be a Jaguar. He knows how much this fan base in this city loves the Jags and live and die, and Mondays are better when they win instead of when they lose. There's just not that guy that can relate right now in the organization. The best guy we have for that is Trevor, and quite frankly, it's not his job.
So this is going to be more of a compliment to the Lions than actually a diss to the Jags. Okay, because I love going to Jags games. I've taken my son to Jags games. Now they've lost every time I've taken my son, so he thinks he's kind of a curse. The San Fran game didn't help anything.
That did not help.
Meanwhile, I had Brock Purdy going crazy in my fantasy team, so I was secretly like, well, at least Brock Purdy's doing something. Son's crying. But I had a chance to go to the Lions playoff game in Detroit this past year.
This is amazing.
Now, keep in mind, I spent, 4 weeks in Detroit, had a cup of coffee, played in 2 games in Detroit. 4 weeks.
Hey, you did share some time with Calvin Johnson in that locker.
I shared some time with Calvin Johnson, hung out with Reggie Bush a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we had some good times, but I wasn't even there. I go there today, no one's gonna recognize me. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, in that organization, they call me maybe once every 3 or 4 months. Some player representative from Detroit will say, "Hey, Austin, how's it going, man? What's new with you? Still fighting? All this stuff." And we have maybe a 10-minute conversation. I'm just where I'm at and how things are going in Detroit. And then we get invited to family events for the Lions, and I got invited to the playoff game. And granted, I'm sure you probably have to pay for the tickets. I'm not sure if they're free tickets, but they gave you a deal saying, "Hey, bring your family. Whatever you want to do. Come on, check out this Lions playoff game." So
you played 4 games for the organization.
I played 4 games. So one would think it's not just me getting this treatment. It's literally every single Lions player.
Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders get on the field.
Well, yeah. I'm sure they can kind of do whatever they want. But what's wild to me is that you get that sense of what it means to be a Detroit Lion, right? There's pride in that. And And yeah, it was 4 games, and maybe like I had 2 tackles in those 4 games. So I contributed nothing to the franchise, the organization, or anything going forward. But the fact that they still think of me to reach out and say, hey, we want you to be a part of this, I think it speaks volumes for just what that environment is like.
Yeah.
Right. And to echo your point, if Tony Baselli was in some kind of, front office role, obviously a guy who has a lot of history here in Jacksonville, was drafted, at the top spot to come to Jacksonville. That could make a huge, huge difference because, yeah, I get, man, you have a lot of successful business people, visionaries, all this stuff. But do you have the former players? Do you have the bridge between all that visionary stuff and the past of players? I'm not sure if you have the most clearest bridge right now like Detroit does. I know this back in the day, but the Raiders kind of had that too
Raiders
a little
do
bit.
that too.
Right? So, yeah, I agree with you. I think anytime you can bring in players who play at a very high level, who understand the city, and most importantly, care to death about the team that they played on, why wouldn't you have them for a resource?
The reason I go here is I look up and down their roster of people that are involved in the organization, and the name that jumps out to me is Chris Spielman. Mm-hmm. Chris Spielman was a Lion. He played in a lot of bad Lions teams. The Lions have had a lot of bad teams. He's in their front office. He's not picking players, making decisions. He's probably not even a heavy, but he's there. Mm-hmm. And he can be the bridge owner to other things. What's going on in the building? What are you feeling? What are you seeing? It's not a rat either. I'm not talking about that. You got to all work together. You got to figure that out. But in this league, Austin, you know it. And we've seen it. And I've seen it here in Jacksonville. And I get it, by the way. We're talking about jobs that are $3 million, $5 million, $8 million, $10 million now, $12 million. When things go wrong, people don't galvanize. They point fingers because they got to try to save themselves and blame the other guy. Like, that's what happens. If you have a Tony Baselli, if you have a Chris Spielman, and maybe there's a different role. I'm just making a suggestion here. You guys figure it out. It's your job to figure it out. But if you have that guy's not doing that. He doesn't have an agenda. He's not trying to save his job necessarily. He's going to be here. He's already in the pride of the Jaguars. He's already in the Hall of Fame. He's got a house in Jacksonville, and he ain't leaving. Yeah. This isn't a stop. And this is with all due respect to guys like Balky and Peterson that I think want this franchise to win. I know they're in it to win it. But at the end of the day, when stuff starts hitting the fan, man, you're also in it for your family, for your survival, for your job, for your legacy, for your everything else. And there's where I think you start to lose sight of the organization. It really bothers me a bit that nobody came out after that 5 out of 6 and spoke with any great passion other than the players about the way it ended. It really bothers me that Doug Peterson talked on Monday afternoon, which he was scheduled to do, and then 18 days later, Trent Baalke talked. They should have both talked together on Wednesday or Thursday, and then you wouldn't have had the rumors about things being split and him picking the defensive coordinator. It would have looked aligned. I think Shad made a misstep there. I think he should have made those guys out, go out there, own it, talk to the fans, how we're going to fix it. We're still aligned. We're in this thing. We were close. We got injured. We're going to be back next year. Boom.
Yeah.
Articulate. Nobody's articulated that since. Still. Tony Baselli would have been a perfect guy to do that. In my opinion, again, I'm putting Baselli in. I'm sorry, Tony.
I mean, there's some other guys.
Tony makes a lot of sense to me.
Of course.
Because I don't feel like there are a lot of players, but I feel like he's carried the flag for this organization in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
From selling tickets on caravans to creating momentum in other spots to the Canton and Hall of Fame. It just makes sense to me, and that's why I go to Tony in this instance.
No, you're not wrong, Brent. Listen, there's a reason why I have the home that I grew up in tattooed on my back. Right? Because it means that much to me. And when you talk about the home of Jacksonville, like this is Tony Baselli's home. It's not a knock on Doug Peterson. It's not a knock on Shad Khan. It's not a knock on Trent Baalke. But what I'm just saying is I think this team and this city, it means a lot to a lot of people for different reasons. Now, this is Tony's home, man. Like this city gave Tony Baselli a chance. Look what he did with it, became a Hall of Famer. Okay, I get the vibe when people reach out to me from Detroit, it's all former players. It's all players that have been with the organization for a long time. Why? Because they're trying to protect their home because it means that much more. So the more that you can bring in guys who's, quote unquote, this is their home, they start with the organization or they have some kind of close tie, whether it's a player being here for year after year after year, the more of those guys you can try to bring in to protect their home, if you will, it's only going to have better results in the end.
Yeah, and listen, you said it earlier. This is not a knock on the Jags
No, not at all.
I think the Jags are trying to do a lot of different things. I think they've tried to do things. I'm just giving you a suggestion. I think this is what they're missing right now. I think they're missing, in this instance especially, somebody to be that liaison to Shad, be that liaison to the fans, be that liaison to maybe players in the build, whatever it is. Again, you've got to create the role. You can't get too many Eagles involved, too many cooks in the kitchen. I'm not a big believer in that. There's a way to do this, though, and I think there's some of that around the National Football League, and the Jags have to find a better formula because what just transpired shouldn't happen, can't happen, hopefully again, but then the response to it in the next couple of weeks I thought was not good enough. I just didn't think it was good enough. And if that's going to be Trent Baalke's job, that ain't the guy that's going to have the response. Like, he don't want to talk to the media. He's not going to talk to the fans, not going to relate to the fans. The fans don't even want him here.
Yeah.
So you got to do better in that aspect, I think.
And once again, to kind of give the Lions their flowers, if you will, like when I get the sense, like I said, Brent, like every 3 months I'll get a phone call from a Detroit number, and I'll pick it up because I know it's somebody from Lions organization. When I get those calls, yeah, I don't think these guys calling me know necessarily about, how to improve the bottom line, how to maximize revenue, things like that. But what they do know is football, and they know players, right? And they know a locker room. And I think overall what Detroit, the model that they're trying to follow is, hey, let's use as much resources as we can to try to bring everybody along with us that came from the past. We'll win games. And when we start winning games and this city rallies behind us, the revenue's going to be there. The bottom line's going to be there. Let's just focus on winning games, getting everybody with us, and the rest will take care of itself. That can be made in Jacksonville as well.
Well, and I won't disregard or lose sight of the fact that the last 2 years the Jags have done that. They have back-to-back winning seasons for the first time since the early 2000s. That's significant. And I know it doesn't feel good now because they should have gone to the playoffs and the way it all happened. But 9 wins back-to-back years, puts Doug on a track like nobody's been on since Coughlin. All right? I guess Jack would have started pretty quick too. So the bottom line is they're doing some things right. This isn't all wrong. But I just think it could be better in some spots, and some of it has to do with connecting. I just love the connectivity that I feel Detroit and its fans have now, and they haven't won a freaking championship in 66 years. But they got everybody bought in and believing after they made terrible decisions, even in the NFC Championship, to lose it.
You know what, Brent? No, for sure. I just hope that we get to the point one day where the standard is a little higher than, hey, back-to-back winning.
But you got to get there first.
No, I understand that. Trust me, I get it. But I would say now, like the line standard, Brent, it's a lot higher than saying, oh, hey, we can win 9 or 10 games.
I get it.
They're winning division title. It's either division or bust now for the Lions. It's either NFC Championship game or bust. I'm looking for the day where the Jaguars can start doing those kind of things.
Well, you got to take a break here on Brent and Austen on a Wednesday. We're just heating up. Maybe we should just go for another couple more hours.
Let's
we
go.
Take you until 1 o'clock. We'll talk more about the Jags and Lions because their GM had some fun stuff this week. But really what they have done player personnel-wise is impressive in a couple of areas, in my opinion. So we'll talk about that when we come back. Brent and Austen here on a Wednesday. Don't forget to check out CBS 47 and Fox 30 coming up all night long as well.
I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we're a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnicht family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles from Nimnicht Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnicht Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids. Financing rates as low as 1.9% right now for eligible buyers on Terrains and Acadias too. Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnicht Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at nimnichtbuickgmc.com. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
There's never a dull day in Duval. At Action News Jax, we know Jacksonville is so much more than crime stories. That's why we're dedicated to covering every local neighborhood. Real stories told by real people, making a positive impact. Plus, with our fleet of drones, the First Alert Storm Tracker, and our passionate team of reporters,
You know a story about the bad gas that was found here?
you know if it's happening now. And in Jacksonville, it's on. Action News Jax. Local coverage you can count on.
The friendliest golf course in town, the Golf Club at Southampton. Local golfers have no shortage of options when it comes to picking a course to play here in Northeast Florida year-round. Yet time and time again, I find myself here at the Golf Club at Southampton. Easy to get to off 210 in St. Johns County. It's family-owned and operated and renowned for being one of the area's most player-friendly. That's just one of the reasons we hold the Action Sports Jax Dream 18 charity golf tournament here each fall. The Mark McCumber design layout is great for all skill levels of golfers, from the guys who bomb it a mile on the range to golfers like me who are just happy to put it in the fairway, which Southampton has very accommodating fairways. And if you need new clubs, come down to the pro shop. They'll fit you up and get you a nice new set, like they did for me. For more information on membership or to book a tee time and see for yourself, head over to golfsouthampton.com or call the clubhouse at 904-287-7529. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the official home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18. Make it your home for golf too.
Thank you for making Action News Jax the best in Jax and Folio's Best of Jax 2023. Best TV station, Best TV newscast, Best TV morning show. Chandler Morgan voted Best TV anchor. The Chief, Mike Burrish, voted Best meteorologist. And Brent Martineau voted Best TV sports anchor. And while you're on the go, Best news website and Best local blog, The Burrish Blog. Thank you for making Action News Jax local coverage you can count on.
It can be daunting to fix or replace your AC unit. We've done it a couple of times, but it's a better experience because of Bold City Heating and Air. We visited boldcityac.com. They did the rest. There are not a lot of Jacksonville-grown and family-owned air conditioning businesses anymore. Bold City Heating and Air is just that, and it feels like it. They will help you navigate the process with first-class service, and they have no payments, no interest for 12 months right now on new systems. $50 off any repairs. Make sure you're safe and comfortable at home, and let Bold City Heating and Air help. boldcityac.com.
I'm Action News Jax First Alert meteorologist Garrett Beaton. While the sun is up and it's going to be a beautiful day.
Sometimes you just need a day to yourself. And Garrett's First Alert forecast makes sure you're ready to go out and enjoy. Garrett and the Action News Jax This Morning team, helping you start your morning right.
Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We know that at our home. You can find out as well. Right now, you can save $1,000 or more when you bundle the Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? Well, CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions to improve it. The higher your water score, the better your water. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242, cgcwater.com. Financing options are available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579. And welcome back to the Brent Austen Show. That's Austin's Corner right there.
Yep,
little skateboard?
Little skateboard, a little Rick and Morty tribute. Obviously, got to have the big boy representing there. Some anime stuff as well.
What's like the anime you're into right now?
Oh, Brent, I'm glad you asked that. So right now, we're looking at probably Jujutsu Kaisen is a big one that the kids are into. Me and Ronan are actually going to go see the new Demon Slayer movie in a couple weeks. I took him, so get this story real quick. So obviously my son and I, big anime fans.
Did he have a choice?
Oh, he wanted to. But it was a surprise, though. So I go to the school, I pick him up early, and I go, I have to get Ronan early. He's got a dentist thing going. You know, it's a dentist thing, right? And the surprise is going to be there was a Thursday premiere, an early premiere of Demon Slayer, the movie. Now, rated R, but, you know, it's not a big deal. It's just rated R, but it's all good. Just it's animated, you know? Just some violence, some heads getting chopped off. It's all right, though. He can handle it. But
Still can't handle his own YouTube channel.
So yeah, exactly. So he comes out of the school and he has no idea what's going on, right? He's like, "Why is Dad here early?" I'm like, "Hey, buddy, I'm here for your appointment." He goes, "What appointment?" I go, "Here for your appointment, man. We gotta get going." He's like, "I don't have an appointment today." I go, "You do, so let's go." And then yeah, I'm like, "Hey, do you want to get out of school early or not, man? Because you're not." hey, nerd, shush, and get in the car. I'm like, well, what are you doing? You're putting me on the spot, looking like a bad dad right now.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm trying to be a good one.
I'm trying to be a cool dad right now, taking you to a rated R movie, and you're worried about your little math class you got going on right now. Nerd.
Steph will be on line 1.
Yeah.
Tutor session coming up.
So needless to say, we ended up going, and he enjoyed it. He loved it. We had to cover our eyes for a couple parts, but it's all good.
All right, there you go.
And I was definitely I was the cool
That's
dad
awesome.
for the day, and we're probably gonna be doing it again in a couple Thursdays. So hopefully the Duval Charter School's not listening too hard. And if you are, I'll see you guys around. I don't know, maybe like 1:55 in the afternoon.
That's all right. It's gym class.
Yeah, it's gym class. We're all good.
Hamby, you like anime?
No shot.
Yeah.
But it's one of those that everybody says, everybody will say that until they watch it, and then
you get hooked?
That's what they say, right?
Is that
Austin?
like if I watched it for a little bit, would I get hooked?
I've heard,
I'm pretty open-minded.
What's the
about
Titan?
stuff.
The Titan that everybody
Attack
kind of
on
starts
Titan.
with.
Yeah,
that's like the first one.
There's Dragon Ball Z, Attack on Titan. Yeah, Brent. So here's the thing about anime. There's so many different like genres and storylines that you can kind of gravitate towards. See me, I'm more like the action, all the fighting, all the violence, and everything. You might be, there's a couple out there that you might be into. I just think from a storyline perspective. Yeah.
All right,
Brent, make sure you hashtag anime on Twitter so we can pull those listeners.
Let's get that anime bump. Hey, you're gonna mess around and get like 300 viewers at the same time. It's become an anime show real quick around here.
Anime wrestling moments.
Let's go.
Let's sprinkle it in.
Let's go.
And then let's sprinkle it. I feel like we're in Detroit right now, but the Lions GM Brad Holmes has obviously done a very nice job. He was cashing in receipts this week. We've got some sound from Holmes up in Detroit about there's one thing that always strikes me, and I've said this multiple times over the last few months. Players and coaches and GMs and front office people, they cannot say we don't watch or read anymore.
I know.
They hear it all. And here's another example of Holmes doing the same.
But when you look back at those picks, and those picks were not welcome by many in this room. Dave, you want us to pick a quarterback. You didn't want us to pick Penei Sewell. People didn't want us to wait till the 4th round to draft a wide receiver. People didn't want to wait on a Derek Barnes to develop. But every single move was intentional and was made with intention. Back in 2021, we did not have multiple ones. We did not have multiple twos. We did not have 4 picks in the first 100. Now we did have that. And we used those wisely. You guys didn't agree, but we used those picks wisely. But we had 1 extra pick in 2021. We had a comp 3rd. That was Ife Melifonwu. Carlos, I know you said that was a miss, but that was the only extra. That was the only extra pick. So what I'm saying is, that's not required to sustain what we built going forward. So,
how does it make you feel when you make a decision that isn't well received by everybody, but still standing on your 2 toes and going forward? I mean, just making
by everybody or you included?
No, I mean just anybody. I ain't really have I ain't say too much today. Deal with they did.
Man, putting everybody on blast.
That's cool, but and he knows it. We might as well get it in because he's going to get blasted soon enough.
No, it's the way it works.
Because you're going to make some mistakes, right?
I mean, could you imagine your boy Mike Tannenbaum doing one of those press conferences? Like, you guys were right. Yeah. Woof.
I like that, though. I thought that was pretty good. And again, people would say, well, don't do that because they're going to come back at you. They're going to come at you either way. Get yours while you can is my point.
True.
And they've done a terrific job in this. Think about the players they have gotten rid of in Detroit in the last couple of years. TJ Hawkinson, top 10 draft pick. We're like, what are they doing? Doing that.
Yeah.
They go replace him with
Sam Laporta.
They get rid of Jamal Williams after they got him for 17 touchdowns. They get rid of DeAndre Swift, an early draft pick. I think he was a first-round guy or maybe early second
for sure
for them.
Yeah.
And they replace him with Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah. who are both doing their thing right now.
See, that's really the name of the game. That is how you win in the league. You get your guys, you replace your guys. I think the Jags have an opportunity to do that here. Trey Herndon's given them some nice stuff. Rayshon Jenkins, I think, over the 3 years has given them some nice stuff. It could have been better, more consistent, absolutely. You paid him. I think it certainly helped you. It was a good move to pay him. Now I think it's probably time to move on and put like a guy like Antonio Johnson there because you drafted that guy. Can you replace him? That's how you win in the league. Darius Williams, has he given you enough? Can you move on? Can you go find his replacement? Do you already have it in a guy like Buster Brown, or do you have to draft him? Jawan Taylor. You moved on. It was going to be expensive. You replace him with Anton Harrison. The Jags have examples of this potentially working, but that's how you win in this league because that's how you manipulate the salary cap when you're paying some guys. You replace them with cheaper guys.
Well, see, and what the Lions have been able to do, too, it's not necessarily like you're replacing them with lesser talent. In some ways, you're replacing them with greater talent at a lower cost. I mean, Sam Laporta right now, like, Brent, how often have we seen a rookie tight end come out right away and just blow the doors off the NFL? Few and far between.
Yeah, we talk about this a lot. Now, it's happened a bit, but it's still usually a position. That's why I haven't really even given up on a guy like Brenton Strange yet. As much as others have. But it's hard to juxtapose what Brenton Strange did versus what a guy like Laporta did. In fairness, Laporta wasn't available for the Jags to take at that time.
And listen, one of my best friends is a Lions fan. And I remember when Swift left, there was definitely some like, what are we doing
Especially
here?
going to Philly.
You know
he had a good year, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. What are we doing here letting him go to Philly? And then I think there was a little hesitation with Gibbs taking him that high, a running back and everything. Okay, a lot of hesitation taking Gibbs that high. But now you see what Gibbs is capable of, being a true, third down back. And they're not going to put too much on his plate right away. Like, they're still going to have Montgomery for, I want to say, 2 more or 3 more years. I think it's 2 more years, if I'm not mistaken. They signed him to.
I don't know.
Whatever the case may be. But my point is, they're not going to put too much on his plate right away. They're going to develop him into that running back role going into a second year now. And then obviously at the wide receiver position, and Amon-Ra taken, in a later round, gets you a little bit of a discount. That's what this team is right now. And Jared Goff, by the way, who you got for a couple draft picks as well, they're
coming up roses on a lot of their moves.
They're coming up roses on a lot of things.
That way, right? The Swift move could have backfired in a big way.
Yeah.
The Goff move could have backfired in a big way. It looked like he was on a downside.
Correct. And now he's looking like even a better player than Matthew Stafford is at the moment, right?
You got to get lucky.
You've essentially put is it luck though, or is there some skill involved? Because Brent, there's like 4 or 5 cases right now.
You have good intentions,
they've all hit on,
like you said. And you have a plan.
Yeah.
So stick to your plan.
Correct. So that begs the question: if you lose Calvin Ridley, well, then what are you going to do? What's the plan B?
Yes.
I don't want to even put this in the universe, but if for some reason Josh Allen, whatever, it goes haywire, maybe you got to trade him. What's the backup plan then for Josh Allen? Right? What are the backup plans for all of these things? Because you need to have those in place. The Lions did not like what they're doing.
What's the move the Jags have made that could come up better than that could hold the receipts that will come up bigger or better than people thought and have talked about? That someday Trent Baalke's going up to that podium and doing what Brad Holmes just did.
Well, I don't know if it's really a Trent Baalke thing, but I will say we were all on board to pay Yannick Ngakoue.
Yes.
And granted, he's still in the league, still doing his thing. But now, are you worried with Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker? Absolutely not. Now, you got Yannick Ngakoue at a discount his rookie year because, he wasn't a first-round pick now, was he? He's a third-round pick.
Yeah.
So there's a discount there. But if you're asking me the question of, replacing somebody who left and you got that person for lesser value, but he's still contributing just as much as the older player, you can't go Tyson Campbell and Jalen Ramsey because Tyson Campbell right now is not on the level of a Jalen Ramsey.
No, I wouldn't say that. And he kind of came a little bit after. Well, I guess it was somewhat close to Ramsey. You know where I'm going with this?
What do you got?
Trayvon Walker.
Okay.
And I understand it's a top pick, but it's a scrutinized pick. A lot of people, and for the last 2 years, people you made the wrong pick. And they might. Aiden Hutchinson's got better numbers. Aiden Hutchinson kind of looks like he dominates games. But in a way, the Jags have said, wait until you see what this guy turns into. Wait until you see what this guy can do. And in fairness to them, we saw some of it. The thing that's undertold about the disappointment of the second half of this year is the growth of Trayvon Walker. If you take his career in 4 stanzas, let's just say, first half of rookie year, second half of rookie year, first half of this year, second half of this year, I think you see this growth and you really start to – now you could see it on tape. You could really defend it if you're inside the building. We had players defend it to us a lot. But what you really can see is on that fourth one, the stats start to go like this. Remember, this is a guy that had 9.5 sacks his entire career, I think, at Georgia. He had 10 sacks this past season. People wondered if he could do that. Getting to 10 sacks is a big deal for him. And we already discussed it, what he did for Josh maybe, what he does in the run game. He does a lot of all-around stuff. He's good enough to play in the pass game. I saw him play against some quarterbacks in the open field and do some nice things that go under the radar. How many times did Jawan Taylor hold him in week 2 alone?
Yeah.
Again, I think Trayvon Walker's a really good football player, but he just hasn't had the splash of a guy like Hutchinson. And I could see the Jags sometime stepping up to that podium, maybe after next year. And when he's a Pro Bowler, All-Pro, whatever it is, and saying, told you.
Yeah. You know, in true Lions fashion, we're talking about replacing the players that, you know, you decide to let go, a la a TJ. By the way, when I let go of TJ Hawkinson, I thought the Lions were throwing in the towel for the season.
Yeah, that was weird.
Because I'm just like, I didn't really know who Sam Laporta was at the time, right? I didn't know what he was capable of. Obviously, it turned out to be a fantastic decision. Unfortunately, TJ Hawkinson goes to Minnesota and tears everything in his knee. Let me ask you this one. Calais Campbell, huge impact in this community, huge impact on this team, on and off the field. What do they have to do to replace him? Where's the value? Okay, he's getting up there. He's getting a little long in the tooth. We'll let him go. Well, what are we going to do to replace him, though?
I actually think, in a weird way, Trayvon is the guy that could replace him.
Okay.
Because he can play and kick down like Calais did.
Okay.
Now, what's different is they played that 3-4 the last couple of years, so it's not the exact same. What will Ryan Nielsen use him like? Could you see more of that? Remember, the dominant year for Calais, he made All-Pro, first and second team, I don't know which one was which, on the end and at defensive tackle at that 3 technique. And I think there's a lot of people that believe he can do that. Now, there's a lot of people in Jacksonville believe he's better off being down the 3 technique in Trayvon Walker. But when you have 10 sacks, I think he squashed that a little bit. I mean, you can't tell me that he's not valuable out there. So it'll be interesting to see how they do that. Yeah, those are tough guys to replace.
It'll also be Devin Lloyd if he turns into anything. That's Miles Jack's contract.
That's a good point. And sooner or later, they got to do something there. See, that's where I think one of their biggest mess-ups, and I think other people agree, is you sign Foye Oluokun. I think by this time, after 2 years of Foye Oluokun, if you're going to draft a first-round linebacker and a third-round linebacker and a fourth-round linebacker, it's time to say, thanks, Foye, you were awesome, you were well worth the money, but we're going to get cheaper here because we've got young guys taking that spot. I don't think they're comfortable to do that, though.
Do you feel any type of way of how dominant Quincy Williams is now? Or are you just kind of like, hey, you know, he didn't fit the system here. It is what it is. You wash your hands, you let him go, and best of luck to him. Like, is there a part of you that's like you watch him play now and see what he's capable of?
Okay, there's 2 things. I think this has a little bit of an Alan Lazard feel to me. Like, okay, Alan Lazard at the time, you're on your practice squad, he gets picked up, he then goes have good years and then signs a deal with the Jets. He was on the practice squad of the Jags. Like, nobody was sitting there saying, oh my gosh, Alan Lazard, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
The thing about Quincy, and you know this because we're doing the show together, it was taking a bit. This wasn't fast. And I'm not talking a year. Like, this took about 4 years for Quincy really to get going. Like, maybe 3.5, but he finally got going.
You drafted him pretty high, keep in mind, though, too. It wasn't like this was like a late-round pick or anything.
Some people say scheme. I've had other people tell me he can play in any scheme. He is playing in New York in that scheme that he first got drafted in here, in fairness. I think the biggest criticism about Quincy, and you can certainly use this because Quincy's developed into a very good player. I think the biggest thing is they gave him away for nothing. They gave Josh Oliver and Quincy Williams, they let him walk.
Well, didn't we get a 6 for Josh Oliver?
No, I don't know if they
I can't remember, guys.
Did they get a
maybe,
6?
Maybe they let him walk.
But the problem with, like, Urban didn't even see him on the practice field. Like, how about we see him first? See if he can fit. True. They were like, nah, see ya.
Yeah.
And so maybe it was a 6. But the bottom line is they never even tried him and then traded him. I think Quincy they just cut.
Correct. Yeah. Let him go. All pro now.
That's bad. Like, that's a bad mismanagement of talent or what you have or development, whatever it is. But that's a black eye to say, yeah, we cut this guy even though we drafted him in the 3rd round. You know, they said at the time they were overdrafting him. They didn't have a 4th-round pick. They didn't see him as a 3rd-round pick. He was more of a 4th-round pick, but they didn't have one. Couldn't wait until the 5th round. They had all the Telvin Smith stuff going on. So they overdrafted him.
And there's some rumblings saying that teams might have taken him in the top of the 4th or even later in the.
That's right. That's why they jumped in.
Some teams liked him. Yeah,
that's why they jumped in. So, I get but that is a gross miscalculation. And Josh Oliver, I'm not telling you he's all-world guy. He's not like that. But he actually still contributes, and he's still been playing. Mm-hmm. And you've been weak at that spot overall from a depth standpoint. So why are other teams doing it? Why aren't you doing it? Is that fit? Is that beauty in the eye of the beholder? Is it patience? There's a lot of things. But what I can't get over is why are we giving those guys away for nothing?
Yeah.
Why are we giving those guys away for nothing in Jacksonville and then turning it into something? That's a problem. Those are questions I'd be asking if I'm Shad Khan.
And this just echoes the draft coming up here. For whatever reason, the Jaguars the past decade or so, it seems like if they take guys who don't necessarily fit a system or fit where they want them to play and they move them someplace else, it takes them time to develop into those players.
Absolutely.
You know, like if the Jaguars had drafted Micah Parsons, do I think Micah Parsons would have been a 12-sack a year guy? I don't know. I don't know if they could have developed him. Never moved him. You know what I'm saying? I think there's some teams that can see a guy and say, this guy's a freak athlete. This guy has all the things to be special. Let's put him in our system. Let's develop him, take his time, but we're going to put him where we want to put him. I don't like when the Jaguars do that because the track record has shown it hasn't really worked that well. So, listen, if you're going to draft a guard, draft a guard. If you're going to draft a right tackle, put him at right tackle. You draft a left tackle, put him at left tackle. Okay? If you're going to draft a true corner, then put him at corner. I don't want to see him in nickel. You know what I'm saying? I want guys to play where they're going to play until I see more from this franchise where you can develop players and put them in different spots.
To the credit of the Jags, they're doing that with Trayvon. Trayvon could play like 3 different spots, and they're keeping him in the one spot and let him grow there.
And how's it working so far?
And that's good, right?
Shocker.
So I like the fact that they've done that with Trayvon Walker. Let's take a break. One more. We'll put a bow on the show. We come back, a little more National Signing Day. Noontime news ahead as well. And there's some interesting news out there, I think, in the last 36 hours or so for you, the consumer, and for us in our business, similar to what we're doing a little bit. We'll be back, Brent and Austen, on a Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out with us. Just be yourself. Maybe we're talking about being a dad or a mom, a first responder or a teacher. Maybe it's a sports fan. We love those. We're talking about anyone in the Jacksonville community. At Community First Credit Union, just be yourself means being real. When you partner with Community First, it's straightforward. They're people connecting with you, so you can be yourself. I've been coming here to Community First for years. This is the Bartram branch, the one I usually come to, and they have mortgage loans, personal loans, and auto loans, and I'm almost done paying off that truck loan. Just a few more months. Good rates, easy online banking, and friendly customer service when I have a question. It's easy to be myself with Community First. They live up to the slogan in their name. Community First has partnerships in the Jacksonville community with the Iceman, the Florida Theater, the Jacksonville Zoo, and many more. Visit one of the Jacksonville branches or find out all you can do with Community First Credit Union at communityfirstfl.org so you can just be yourself.
Start your morning right. Start your morning right. A new day, a new traffic headache. But Action News Jack's traffic expert, Maritza Ross, is here to guide all kinds of daily drivers, like the traffic dodgers.
Don't worry, I'm going to get you around this mess on I-95.
The side street seekers.
Now you can exit early on 17 due to
the last-minute leavers.
If you're getting a late start this morning, here are your fastest routes.
So let Maritza save you time on Action News Jax this morning.
Start your morning right.
I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we're a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnicht family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles from Nimnicht Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnicht Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids. Financing rates as low as 1.9% right now for eligible buyers on Terrains and Acadias too. Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnicht Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at nimnichtbuickgmc.com. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
I've been forecasting the weather for a long time, and no matter where I go, I always get asked the same question.
Hey, Mike, what's the weather going to be like?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Mike, hey, what's the weather going to be like?
I don't mind being asked because I always have the answer. Great day for a perfect round of golf. Hey, little rain later today. So go ahead, ask me.
Hey, Mike, I'm heading out. What's the weather like tonight?
It's the same question, even at home.
Mike Burrish, he's got your weather answer on Action News Jax.
Go where all the pros go. Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute takes care of athletes at the highest level, like the Jacksonville Jaguars players. They will take care of you, too. Our team covers a lot of teams here in Jacksonville: FSCJ, JU, the Axemen, the Jumbo Shrimp, the Sharks, and, of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars. JOI covers all those teams as well. And then there's youth sports. My kids play baseball and softball. And whenever we have an injury question, the first call is to JOI. Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute has been serving Jacksonville for 30 years, and they have over 30 specially trained physicians and assistants at 5 locations in the area. If your injury is specific to an area of the body, JOI has a specialist. They also are leaders in robotic surgery, joint replacement, and sports medicine. JOI Rehab has 13 locations and 90 therapists to get you better. Comprehensive care with caring physicians and staff at JOI. From youth sports to high school, college, and the pros, Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. JOI. Go where all the pros go.
When the sun sets and night begins, Action News Jax is working to bring you the big, important stories at 11 you need to know about.
Live in downtown, from Orange Park,
From the south side.
From all over Jacksonville, we keep you informed on local news happening now and get you ready for what's next tomorrow.
Plus, Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish has the area's most accurate forecast to help you plan for the day ahead.
Live at 11, it's worth staying up for CBS 47 Action News Jax.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Coming soon, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Austen Lane, Brent Martineau, back here on a Wednesday, Brent Austen Show, day number 3. Thanks to Marcel Robinson for all the nice-looking shots and the spots, as you can see during our commercial breaks. Oh, there is Marcel Robinson. Jersey.
Showcasing the most improved player. Black at the bottom of that one.
Little national signing day. There's Ashland University and South Florida. That's Liv, her cheerleading outfit.
Pretty intense music right now, too.
This is serious
I feel like
stuff.
I'm doing an interrogation or something. Where were you the night of the 7th? Brent?
Right here, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, Jason Hamby. Noontime news time. Let's bring in Hamby before we say goodbye here on a Wednesday. And what do you have? We just found out that he's a big-time poker player.
Yeah, like hardcore. Hamby, you ever see a poker movie? Like you've seen like Rounders and all the poker class. Okay. Oh wow, didn't see Good Will Hunting, but Rounders right off the okay.
Don't splash the pot.
Sorry,
just told us that he doesn't watch TV.
Yeah, but he knows Rounders. All right, that's good.
Watch the big game, poker, all the stuff on. I have the Poker Go app. I pay a subscription to watch all of the events that they have.
Doesn't ESPN Plus just have that for us? No.
Right. What's the new? Wasn't there a new Counting Cards movie recently? Last couple of years, I watched it. It was really good, and I can't remember the name.
Yeah, the one where the college students they teach the class and they go to Vegas to do it. What's that one called?
I don't think that was it.
That was I think 21. That one was called. I don't know.
I'll figure it out. But it was good. I forget which one it was, but it was good.
Okay.
Somebody told me to watch it, and I really liked it.
Okay.
I think it was Schachter up there that told me to watch it, and we liked it. So, all right, what you got? Noontime news. Anything good?
All right, let's see. We got hold on. We got to get a little music for us first.
Oh, I like it. I like it. I don't even have to ask for it anymore.
Let's go.
Day 3, baby.
Oh, it's not wanting to play. That's really sick.
We have challenged the duo back there in the producer room and the computer today.
Really
and
pushing
some of
them
the
to the
things
limit,
that we've
Brent.
done.
Pushing them to the limit. Are the game managers? Are they going to jump out of the game manager spot and shine?
We are really asking them to manage the game.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure about the music, but we got
Dang, the music worked yesterday. It's a step backwards today on Noontime News.
A little bit. Let's go back to the drawing board and learn from it, guys.
Well, the one of the most successful little athletes in American sports history is going to be an Astro for life. Jose Altuve signs a 5-year extension worth about $150 million, I believe. That'll take him through his age 39 season. So that'll make him one jersey whole career, which baseball needs more of.
Super rare for sure.
100%. On that note, pitchers and catchers report in 1 week for most teams, maybe about half the teams. Some go back Wednesday, some go back Thursday. And in kind of consumer-ish news, we have ESPN, Fox, and Warner Brothers Discovery merging to launch a streaming platform coming in the fall. So each company will own a third of it. There's no name for it yet, and no subscription price has been made public.
See, that's big stuff.
Say that one more time. So it's ESPN. Who is it?
Fox. And Warner like
Brothers.
TNT.
Okay,
Okay?
gotcha. Okay.
So think about all the sporting platforms that all three of those have.
Yeah.
It's
and
more
all the
than a
games that would
majority.
be. Oh, yeah, it's unbelievable. So this is fascinating to me, one, because we're starting an Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Maybe we're onto something here.
Now you're talking.
This is different in that respect, but think what I've been described, this will be is like Hulu for sports. Right? It's kind of that feel, or a Disney Plus type thing. And you might be able to, by the way, get Hulu and Disney Plus and everything else. But people have been asking for something like this. Why do I have to go watch it on all these different things?
You're going to have every
subscription, pay
every
for this
major sport.
Every major sport might live now on one bundled asset.
Well, and people are going to pay for that too as well. Because, I mean, it was like the super wild card weekend when that one game was on just Peacock.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what, they had like 20 million viewers or whatever on that?
That's not stopping, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, people complain about it's not stopping. I mean, seriously, I say this jokingly. I mean, we're not Fox, ESPN, Warner. But on a local level, there's reasons why we're starting an Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream, which the stream will be available on the app, where you can also find news, weather, and sports now on the app right there, and all these other places like Disney Plus, Google Play, and Apple TV, everything else. So, I mean, it's where we're going. Where we're going. That's where a lot of people are going. It's where a lot of people already are. So it's just fascinating news, really, as we launch this month, that they come out with that news, which is going to be big, I think, for a sports fan, too.
And UFC events will be on there as well.
UFC pay-per-view events or just like the regular events?
Probably regular.
At least regular events.
Probably regular.
Mom's going to be psyched paying $80 for another UFC event.
You won't have to steal our ESPN Plus account, though. We'll have it all in one bundle. So,
but I mean, that's a week after, WWE announces they're going to go partner with Netflix and all of these things, and everything is obviously trending that way.
Yeah, so that's cool stuff. I think it's cool stuff. We'll find out. Hamby, before we end the show today, I'd like to, we're just going to end it on us anyway, but Marcel Robinson caught up with Tiant White, who is our Action Sports Jax All-Prep Top 25 Player of the Year, Friday Night Blitz, if you will, Player of the Year in high school football. And he signed today, and Marcel had a chance to catch up with him if we can play that before the end of the show.
All right, Tiant, so when I talked to you not long ago at one of the Jags All-Prep events, you told me you were still wondering what was going on college plans-wise. Clearly looks like we got something done, man. Tell me, how does it feel to finally get that pen to paper and know where you're playing your college football?
It lifts a big weight off my shoulder, and I feel accomplished to know that I'm going to play at the next level. And, yeah, I'm just ready to go.
What was this process like? Because I know every time I talked to you, there was never really any worry or anything like that. You knew something was going to happen because you pretty much trusted in what you put on film. What is that process like? What was that process like getting to Albany State?
The process was easy. Coach Ray shot to me, showed his love, and showed that the school was right for me. So, it was everything good.
I love every time I talk to you, it's all about, things are just going to kind of work out for you because you've obviously put in all the work. But to hear what your coaches and see all your teammates here and everybody supporting you to kind of, I guess, really go to bat for you, man, what does that mean for you?
It means a lot to know I have people backing me up either where I go. So, I love the love, Mariners my place. I'm thankful for all my fans, all my teammates, my coaches, my family. I'm just thankful for the
Rams,
love.
right?
When I've talked to you, you've rarely been a me guy, but to know what you accomplished, your coach has said you were one of the best players in the entire state. Your resume is unquestioned, but to be able to be rewarded in this way, to know that somebody wants you to come put those skills on their field, man, what does that mean for you?
It means a lot. I'm thankful that he's let me have this chance, and I'm just ready to do what I got to do.
All All right, man. Well, you said it was a sense of kind of accomplishment when I talked to you, man. But just whenever you put that pen to paper, was there like a big whoosh?
It was a big whoosh. I was like, thank the Lord that it's happening.
Last one for you. I just saw you just come up to one of the other guys. Got some family, some rattlers over here.
Yeah,
we won't talk about any rivalries or anything like that. But the first thing he said to you was, "Welcome to the HBCU Nation." What did that mean to you? Because obviously it's not the same school, but everyone knows that the HBCU is a big family, it's a big community.
Yeah, the HBCU family, it's not about rivals and stuff. It's about just getting there, showing your culture and everything like that. So it's a big thing to be a part of that.
All right, man, you were the player of the year in Jacksonville. Now you got to go put on.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you. That's Tion White, Mandarin running back on the Albany State. Pen to paper, one of the best running backs in the entire state of Florida.
That's awesome stuff. Cool kid, Tion White, our Friday Night Blitz player of the year, helped Mandarin to a runner-up finish in the state of Florida, and he was awesome in the postseason. So congrats. Albany State, your family knows all about that, Hamby.
Yes, they do. Right up the road from where we stay every holiday.
Golden Rams.
Golden Rams. That's, they treat it very seriously up there.
All right. Listen, we made it through day 3. I already feel like we're on week 3.
I know, man. It's been a time and a half already over here, isn't it?
Yeah, or no problem.
Yeah. No, if I can just get my Pac-Man skills better, I'll be happy.
You'll be fine.
We'll see.
We'll keep doing it. Nice work, fellas, today. We still have to come up with the slogan for 2024, but we knew this wasn't going to be a one-show deal.
Sure.
We got to put some effort into this.
Well, speaking of effort, where are you at with your slogan?
I'm still stuck on Own the Identity.
Okay.
You are stuck on
Fortune favors the bold, man.
Favors the bold.
Rolls off the tongue.
We got Prove the Pride.
Prove the Pride.
How about like Power of the Pride? Can we play physical?
Power of the Pride. Okay.
Not a very physical football team down the stretch.
So it doesn't matter. You got to speak it into existence.
Yeah,
that's what we do these
we're not going
days.
to echo on last season, all right?
All
So it's a
right.
new year now.
What are we going to do? Say we suck?
No.
Where's Beyonce?
We're weak?
What we need.
Hit the weight room?
Might not be a bad idea.
Bigger, faster, stronger. There we go.
How about this slogan? Steal it right from Tommy Boy, baby.
Let's go.
Do you know where the weight room is?
I'm Trevor Lawrence. Do you know where the weight room is? I like it. Okay. Yep.
All right, good work, Hamby. You had a lot of buttons to push today, man. Nice job, and we'll be back at it tomorrow, 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. Watch all our signing day coverage and everything else on CBS 47 and Fox 30 tonight. Austen Lane, get a good workout in.
Always.
Watch some anime.
Always.
And take Ronan out of school early. Congrats to all the kids and everybody else signing, and, of course, the parents, because that's always a good feeling. Nice day, tough landscape, and to get into college athletics. So hope everybody enjoys the day. We'll see you tomorrow.